welcome po sa ating webinar together with DCOMC as our partner. And I'm Clarence Faith. With me is...
Realiza Magnayek, your College Student Council Public Relation Officer.
Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. How are you? Thank you for tuning in here at Care 104.3 The Way FM sa ating po mga DCOMC students watching via Facebook Live. Yan, invite nyo na po ang inyong mga classmates at ang inyong mga friends sa ating po mga radio listeners from all over the Bicol region. Please tune in. Marami po tayong magandang pag-uusapan sa hapong ito. So what is our webinar about, Rhea?
So our webinar is all about student leadership and distance learning. So as we all know naman po na ang student leaders natin is always active even though humaharap tayo sa pandemic. At isa nga sa inihahandog namin sa inyo ang webinar na ito para maging inspired pa rin kayo and motivated para maging student leader.
Yan si Rhea is an active student leader hindi lamang sa DCOMC. So why do you think it's important to talk about this ngayong panahon, Rhea?
So napakahalaga po na pag-usapan natin ang mga ganitong topic sapagkat nauuso ngayon yung mga webinars at talagang pagtatatag ng mga iba't ibang organisasyon na patungkol sa pagiging isang mabuting leader. So isa ang mga topic natin sa araw na ito upang maging handa kayo, maging isang hakbang ulit para maging isang mabuting leader, hindi lamang para sa sarili nating komunidad, pati na rin sa loob at labas ng ating bansa.
Kaya, before anything else, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our leaders. Yan.
Thank you so
And of
much.
course, to our partner in broadcasting, ang Care 104.3 The Way FM, of course, and to our administrator.
Yes.
Dr.
Joey
Joey
M.
Zamora. And to our college dean,
Dr. Melvin M. Goyena, and to our SAS Coordinator, Student Affairs and Services Coordinator, Mr. J.F. Nase.
Hello, Sir Jay. And syempre po sa ating mga kapwa teacher sa DCOMC, mga non-teaching staff, at sa lahat po ng ating mga estudyante from first year to fourth year. So, pwede na po kayong mag-shout out.
Yes.
And you can comment po sa ating Facebook Live kung kayo po ay watching na ngayon. At diba meron silang hashtag?
Yes, don't forget to use our official hashtag be an effective leader and hashtag student leadership and distance learning.
By the way, sino nga pala ang mga sponsors nitong webinar, Rhea?
This webinar is sponsored by College Student Council of Daraga Community College in collaboration with Mathematics Club and Science Club. So it was headed by Mr. Joey Mantes and Sir Joshua Ivan Loques.
Oo, masyado kaming formal ngayon ni Rhea. So, kamusta ka na pala, Rhea? Oo, how are you?
Mabuti naman po, Ma'am Clarence, at so far patuloy pa rin nag-a-adapt dito sa ating pandemyang kinakaharap. Pero sa kabila nito, marami kaming natututunang lesson, hindi lang sa pagiging isang simpleng estudyante, pati na rin ang pagiging student leader para sa ating community.
Paano mo pala nababalanse yon yung you're a student tapos student leader ka pa?
Ayun. Minsan hindi naman natin may iwasan na talagang hindi natin nagagampanan ng tama at balanse, pero hangga't maaari ay aming pinapahalagahan pa rin ang aming pag-aaral sapagkat ito ang unang-unang priority talaga natin, at hindi rin naman namin pinapabayaan ang pagiging student leader na para makatulong din po sa aming mga kapwa estudyante. So medyo mahirap pero kinakaya.
Ayan, so totoo yan, napakasisipag nitong ating mga student leaders. At hindi lamang naman sila, Rhea, ang ating mga student leaders. We can be a leader wherever we are, di ba? Sa ating mga tahanan, sa ating mga kaibigan, at syempre sa school, sa ating mga classmates, and sa inyong mga, sa community.
Local, pwede rin po sa labas ng ating province. So, alam naman natin yan na medyo talagang mas naging marami na po yung sumasali sa iba't ibang organizations outside the city.
So, shout out na kasama po natin sa Facebook Live si Pres Robert Molieno, ang CSC President, si Rio Lodonio, si Sir J, ang ating SAS Coordinator, is watching with us. Hello, sir. At sa ating mga students na nakikita ko dito, si Gerald, si Eunice, si John Mayor, si Sir Bernal, ang ating co-faculty co-teacher sa DCOMC. So, kung meron po kayong, ano bang dapat nilang i-expect dito sa ating webinar, Rhea?
So, ang ilan po sa mga dapat ninyong i-expect dito ay kung paano kayo makikisama sa inyong mga kapwa student leader at gano'n na rin kung paano nyo ba mapapaunlad pa ang inyong mga sarili, hindi lamang sa pagdating sa internal, ma'am, pati na rin sa pakikiisa po sa mga tao sa paligid natin.
Yeah, kasi ang topic nga natin ngayon napakaganda,
Dysfunction or conflict resolution.
Yan. May mga naka-conflict ka na ba? As a leader, as a student?
Yes po. Hindi naman natin maitatago po talaga yon. Talagang nagkakaroon tayo ng mga hindi pagkakaunawan or conflict, pero kailangan pa rin nating iisipin or kailangan pa rin nating isipin na hindi lamang natin ito ginagawa para sa ating sarili. Ito ay para palagi sa ating mga kasamahan at sa ating institusyon.
Yes. So, mahalaga yan kasi lahat tayo nakaka-encounter tayo ng mga misunderstanding. So, how do we resolve it? Yan, magandang pag-usapan. Kaya po, if you are listening via radio, you may contact us at 0946-7639858. Pwede po kayong mag-participate, mag-ask ng question. Tama ba?
Yes, pwede po.
And you may also contact us at
0929-3594-298 or 0915-9317-184.
At wag natin kakalimutan sa Facebook Live, you may use the hashtag Be an Effective Leader at saka
hashtag Student Leadership in Distance Learning.
So, before we proceed, ayan, malapit na tayo sa ating main course or ang ating pag-uusapan sa hapong ito. But before that, we would like to give some reminders. And ano yung mga reminders natin, Rhea, for this webinar?
So, of course, wag nating kakalimutan ng ating mga netiquettes. And first is be on time and pay attention. Speak up. Put your comments or questions in the comment box. And keep your questions brief to manage time. Keep our webinar safe and respectful place. Accomplish the evaluation form at the end of the webinar, which is the most important. So always keep in mind that we are doing this virtually and always keep the safe space. Thank you.
Ayan, so thank you po. At alam ko mga masunuri naman ang mga taga-DCOMC, tama po ba? So, agree. So, kung may mga students din po na nakikinig from other schools, they are free to participate, right?
Yes, they are free to participate po.
Yan, so para po ito sa inyong lahat. At maganda ang ating topic because it's about conflict resolution. So, before we start, let us ask our very own Mr. Arnold Dolosa to open the program with his inspirational message.
To our benevolent and compassionate college administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora, to our proactive and generous college dean, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, to our very own and charismatic SAS coordinator, Mr. J. F. Nase, to the teaching and non-teaching staff, to all aspiring student leaders, viewers, good afternoon. Welcome to day one of our webinar entitled Leadership Webinar Workshop Series with the theme Student Leadership in Distance Learning. First, I would like to thank 104.3 The Way FM headed by Ms. Raquel Silandong and to the staff for always accommodating DCOMC for events like this. Also, I would like to acknowledge the Mathematics Club and Science Club together with their advisor, Mr. Joey Montes and Mr. Joshua Iban Loques for their support in this event. According to James Roth, the challenge of leadership is to be strong but not rude, be kind but not weak, be bold but not a bully, be humble but not timid, be proud but not arrogant, and have humor but without fooling. It is truly indeed a challenge if you become a leader. It will test your abilities, skills, capabilities that will surely measure how effective and efficient your leadership. But fret not, aspiring student leaders of DCOMC, because one of the objectives of this webinar is to help and guide you to be empowered and productive leaders. So without further ado, sit back, relax, enjoy listening and learning as we go along this leadership webinar workshop series of DCOMC as Pandayan ng Pangarap. Once again, good afternoon.
Mr. Arnold De Losa, and for the inspirational message, let us welcome our Administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora.
To our College Dean, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, to the OSAS Coordinator, Mr. J. Nase, to the CSC Advisor, Mr. Dulosa, and to the teaching force of the Raga Community College, and to the non-teaching personnel, students, to all of you, good afternoon. According to Iya Puseng, an entrepreneur, writer, and a columnist for education for Florida State University, that good leaders should practice the following: provide inspiration, teach and learn, be bold, be humble, listen to your people, strike a balance, and tackle challenges. Good leaders are trailblazers, making a path for others to follow. Great leaders, however, inspire their people to reach higher, dream bigger, and achieve greater. Perhaps the most important leadership skill you can develop is the ability to provide inspiration to your team. If you inspire them to reach for the stars, they just might bring you back the moon. Smart leaders know what they don't know. Learning is a constant process throughout your life and doesn't stop when you become a team leader. Make sure to never stop looking for opportunities for development and pass on the wisdom you have learned to your people. To be a good leader, you sometimes need to be down to untraveled path. Being bold in the face of uncertainty will help give your team courage and motivate them to keep inspiring when going gets tough. If learning is an important part of leadership, then it follows humility is an essential attribute as well. After all, you can't learn new things if you cannot admit your work in progress. Be open to recognizing your own faults so you can grow as both leaders and human beings. Your people are your greatest resource. Listen to their feedbacks and encourage their dreams. You never know where next idea will come from, so empower everyone to contribute and innovate. Being a good leader is a balanced act. Your leadership strategy should never rely on just one type of management. It might at first feel like walking in a tightrope, but soon balancing multiple leadership attributes will become second nature and allow you to lead on a multiple dimensions. To be a great leader, there's no such thing as a challenge too big to handle. Once you adopt this attitude, your people will follow suit, and every problem will present as opening for greater achievement. To all the student leaders, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dr. Joey M. Zamora, our college administrator.
Mm-mm.
And
And ang ganda din ng
Yes, ma'am.
ng studio or ng office ni Sir Joey.
yes, isa sa mga magandang improvement sa ating Daraga Community College.
Yes. So kudos to all those who prepared for the webinar, including our videographers and lahat po ng ating mga kasama dito, mga CSE officers. And thank you din po sa ating mga students na nagko-comment na po ng kanilang mga blocks. We have here from second year English B, si Jasmine. Hello din sa mga second year Values Education students ko, Values A, and hopefully Values B nandyan na din. And lahat po ng mga BE-Ed students, second year. May third year na din tayo. Rhea, meron ka pa ba nakikita?
Yes,
Mhm.
for the third year Filipino, good afternoon po sa inyo, and especially po doon sa aking professor
Professor.
na nanonood din sa atin ngayon. Salamat po.
Hi kay Mary Grace Tolentino, ang aking former student.
Yes.
Hi sa kay Ma'am Losada, nanonood na din siya with us.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Si Jade Manzanillo from Black 16 second year. And third year Black 5, Kamasis, J. Mark.
Mm-mm.
Good afternoon po.
So don't forget to use the hashtag, mga students, mga Dicomsinians. Ano nga po yung ating mga hashtags?
Yes, please use the official hashtag #BN effective leader and hashtag student leadership in distance learning.
So
And-
what is leadership nga pala, Rhea?
So, according to John Maxwell, leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others.
Mm-mm.
A leader's job is not to do the work of others. It helps others figure out how to do it themselves, to get things done, and to succeed beyond what they thought possible.
Mm-mm.
Everyone knows what leadership is, but few people can articulate what it truly means. Creating a cohesive definition within your organization is a crucial step for developing future leaders and maintaining unity and a strong leadership focus. So, at this point, we would like to give you the first topic entitled Dysfunction or Conflict Resolution. And this will be introduced and welcomed by our Student Affairs and Services Coordinator, Mr. J.F. Nase.
Thank you so much, Ms. Realisa. Before I introduce to you our resource speaker, I would like to commend the College Student Council, headed by the advisor, Sir Arnold M. Dolosa, and the CSE chairperson, Mr. Robert F. Mulieno, for this unstoppable webinar despite of this pandemic. Also, I would like to thank our very supportive and dynamic college administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora, and our dedicated and passionate college dean, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena. Lean your ears, Dicomsinian, as I introduce to you our resource speaker. He is a second-year Bachelor of Arts in Organizational Communication student from the University of the Philippines, Manila. He has founded his own nonprofit organization called the Brigada E-Eskwela Project that aims to help struggling students to cope with the needs of the new normal for education that had helped more than 1,500 students across the Philippines. Aside from this, he also served as the Vice President for External Affairs of UP Manila Junior Marketing Association and as Local Committee Vice President for Innovations of ISEC and UP Manila. He is a project manager that has led and co-led more than 8 large-scale lawyer projects over the course of the pandemic. And with his experience in multiple fields such as content creation, business development, finance, legalities, technology, and project management, he is a certified jack of all trades. Outside of his organizational work, he aspires to be a professional lawyer and a news anchor. During his free time, he repairs computers and phones for free struggling students, cooking dishes, reading, producing content for his talks, and thinks about future projects that he may lead. His primary advocacy in life is to provide accessible and quality education for all, as he believes that everyone should be able to strive for a better future through their studies. Friends, help me welcome Mr. Andres Manuel III.
Before we start to the discussion of Mr. Andres Manuel III, we would like to remind you all po na you can comment your questions after the discussion of Mr. Andres. So you
Yeah.
can comment down on the comment box
Mm-mm.
below, and then you may contact us or you may reach us through the numbers 0915-260-8652 or 0910-918-5152, or you may email us at dcomc.sas.csc.19@gmail.com.
Yan. At very exciting because our speaker is just 19 years of
Yes.
age or 19 years old pa lang siya. So, talagang siya ang sabi natin na epitome of a student leader. Yan. So, let us all welcome.
Yes, let us welcome with a virtual applause Mr. Andres Manuel III.
Thank you for that introduction, Ms. Rhea, and of course to our D-Way Care Radio FM. Thank you so much for having me today, and thank you so much for the Daraga Community College for inviting me to have this webinar. So I'm very excited to be with you all today, and I'd like to, greet you with good afternoon. So again, I'm Andres, and I'm going to be talking about the dysfunctions of a team. So we're going to be talking about how to manage your team effectively. Okay. So again, I'm Andres. I'm the founder and project head of the Brigada Escola Project. We're a nonprofit that provides computers for free for struggling students during the pandemic. And I'm also the vice president for innovations at ISEC in the University of the Philippines, Manila, which basically means ako yung nag-handle ng mga malalaki naming project. Okay? And I'm also the vice president for external affairs sa UP Manila Junior Marketing Association. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And then now, as I move forward, I'm going to be discussing with you our objectives or what I want you to learn for this session. So after this session, I want you to be more self-aware of your role as a manager. So let's be on equal footing na right now that you guys are managers in your own sense, okay? And that you can actually identify the areas of improvement of managing your own teams, okay? And then I want you to be more confident in managing your team effectively. So those are our objectives for today's session. So those are the things that I want you to learn out of my webinar, okay? So just some key expectations. I want you to be attentive. Makinig sana kayo, like 100% present. Mag-stay lang kayo dyan sa Facebook Live. Ganon, makinig lang kayo. And if you want, you can take down some notes. Kung sa tingin nyo importante yung mga sinasabi ko, take down nyo siya because pinag-preparean ko talaga siya and I think these are tried and tested solutions. And of course, participate. Nakalagay ngayon sa phone ko dito sa site yung Zoom live natin right now. So kapag may tinanong akong question, sana mag-comment kayo para I can still feel you guys participating during my webinar. Okay? So now, to start things off, I wanted to ask you guys, what teams are you part of? I want you to type sa chat, type nyo sa comments, yung mga organizations, mga positions nyo, ganyan. So type nyo lang dyan. Antayin ko siya for like 1 minute. Okay? So listan nyo lang anong teams, anong organizations, yung parte kayo, ano yung position nyo. Like, kunwari ako, si Andres, Vice President for Innovations, ganun. So kayo, ano naman kayo? Okay? Alright, so now I'm getting some comments here. Okay. That's great. I love it. College Student Council. Thank you, Rhea. Okay, so now I wanted to ask you, what can you say about you and being in a team? So sino ka sa team mo? Sino ka sa student council? Sino ka sa club mo? Sino ka sa organization mo? Okay? Because right now, during this session, kailangan maintindihan natin na from this point forward, kapag parte ka ng isang team, dapat marunong ka makisama sa mga katrabaho mo. Dapat you know how to work with them effectively. Dapat alam mo na parte ka ng isang mas malaki pang organisasyon, hindi ka gumagalaw mag-isa, gumagalaw ka para sa benefit ng buong organisasyon. Okay? Kasi hindi nagma-matter kung magaling kang mag-isa, mas importante na magaling kang makisama kapag nasa isang organisasyon ka, kung nasa isang team ka, because you can't work with people if you're selfish. You can't work with other people if you only think about your own benefits, ganon. You can only work with a team when you actually want to be in that team. Okay? So it doesn't matter if magaling ka mag-isa, kailangan magaling ka makisama. Okay? Kasi if you don't build a connection with the team that you're gonna be working with, trust me, you guys are gonna fail. If you don't trust each other, you guys are gonna fail. Okay? Yun yung basis natin dito. If you don't trust your team, if you don't work well with your team, you guys are gonna be failing. Okay? So, now, isipin mo ngayon, how do you work in a team? How well do you work with a team? How can you commit to a team? And how will you become a better leader starting from today? Okay? So dapat kasi when you're a student leader or when you're working in an organization, you never give someone else the benefit to tell you guys na ang pangit ng team dynamics nyo. Dapat hindi mo sila bibigyan ng pagkakataon na sabihin na ay ang pangit naman nilang magtrabaho. Hindi sila magaling na team. Okay? Kasi again, team kayo, lahat nyo nagre-reflect sa inyo at sa buong organization nyo. Okay? So next question. Do your team members openly and readily disclose their opinions? Okay? Comfortable ba silang sinasabi sa inyo yung mga opinion nila sa mga ginagawa nyo? So kunwari, sinasabi ba nila sa inyo, sinasabi ba ng mga co-VPs mo, sinasabi ba ng mga kasama mo sa trabaho na, ay, medyo hindi ka magaling, kailangan mo mag-improve sa ganito, pinag-uusapan nyo ba yon? Okay? Pinag-uusapan nyo ba yung mga problema nyo? Are your team meetings compelling and productive? Pag nag-meeting kayo, may nakukuha ba kayong substantial? May parang kinalalabasan ba kayong maayos? May na-achieve ba kayo sa dulo ng meeting? Isipin mo, okay? And then, does your team come to decisions quickly and avoid getting bogged down by consensus? So isipin mo, usually ba pag nag-meeting kayo, tapos may sinasuggest yung isa sa inyo, usually nag-agree na lang kayo, umo-oo na lang kayo, hindi nyo na siya pinag-uusapan, o pinag-uusapan nyo pa siya, tapos tinitignan nyo lahat ng pwede nyo magawa bago nyo pag-decide ng isang bagay. Okay? Next question. Do your team members actually confront one another by their shortcomings? Okay? Nagkukumprontahan ba kayo? Sinasabi nyo ba sa isa't isa? May problema ako sa'yo. Hindi ka maayos ka trabaho. Sinasabi nyo ba yon sa isa't isa? O hindi? Okay? Isipin mo yun ngayon. Do you actually call out others if they have their own shortcomings? Do your team members sacrifice their own interests for the good of the team? Like, kung kayo ba within your organization, kapag ikaw nasa EB ka, nasa executive board ka, do you guys put down your own personal interests na ang iniisip nyo na lang ay interest ng org nyo, ang interest ng buong grupo, instead ng interest ng pansarili? So isipin mo yon. Do you guys set aside those interests? Do you guys sacrifice your own interests? Because if you answered no to some, or actually to all of them, then I guess it's a call for you to manage your team effectively. Medyo may problema tayo. Kapag sumagot ka ng yes or no, ng no, sa kahit sa isa sa mga tanong ko na yun, ibig sabihin may problema tayong dapat ayusin. Okay? May problema kayong sa dynamics nyo with your team, sa organization nyo. So now, I wanted to share with you guys today a very interesting concept that I've been learning here in ISAC. So it's called Patrick Leoncoli's 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. So just like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, di ba, meron tayong pyramid of needs, yung parang shelter, food, ganyan. So si Patrick Leoncoli, isa siyang author, isa siyang researcher na nag-identify na meron tayong certain things na kinakasira sa isang team. Okay? So, para lang din siyang hierarchy of needs na kapag tinanggal mo yung isa, guguho na siya lahat sa taas. So, isipin mo, pag tinanggal natin yung nasa pinakababa, lahat ng yan susunod-sunod. Lahat na yan, problema na yan. Okay? And, hindi mo mareresolve ang nasa taas kung ang problema mo ay nasa baba pa. So dapat hakbang isa-isa kasi lahat yan problema. Dapat lahat yan inaayos bago mo maayos ng buo yung team mo. So for number 1, we have absence of trust. So isipin mo ngayon, dear team members, are your team members reluctant to be vulnerable with each other? Are they unwilling to admit their mistakes, weaknesses, or need for help? Or if they're not comfortable with one another? So isipin mo ngayon, nag-sharean ba kayo sa organization nyo? Kapag ba meeting nyo, nagsasabi sa inyo na parang, ay, hindi ako magaling sa ganito, baka pwedeng sa iba na lang ako. Ganon, nagsasabi ba kayo na, ay, may sakit ako today. Hindi ako makakapagtrabaho today. Hindi ako makakapag-contribute na maayos today. Nagsasabihan ba kayong ganon? Or kapag kunwari may personal kayong problema, sinasabi niyo ba yon sa mga kasama niyo sa trabaho? If you're unwilling to admit your mistakes, weaknesses, or need for help in a team, then you have an absence of trust. And this is number 1. Ito yung pinaka-importante. Yan yung nasa ilalim ng pyramid natin. Kasi kung hindi mo pinagkakatiwalaan yung mga taong katrabaho mo, paano kayo magtatrabaho ng maayos? Okay? Next. For the second level, we have the fear of conflict. If isipin mo, kayo ng team members mo incapable of engaging in unfiltered debate about the issues, ganyan, or if you're causing situations where team conflict can easily turn into veiled discussions and back-channel comments, ganon. And if you don't openly air your opinions, then you have a fear of conflict. Isipin mo, for fear of conflict, hindi nyo pinag-uusapan yung mga problema. You're sweeping things under the rug. Okay? So pag kunwari, hindi mo sinasabi sabihin natin kay Rhea, hindi natin sinasabi kay Rhea na, Rhea, may problema ako sa'yo kasi hindi ko gusto yung ginawa mo. Or, Rhea, hindi ka maayos katrabaho. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi niyo pinag-uusapan yung mga problemang ganon at tinatago niyo na siya sa ilalim. Pangit siya kasi feeling natin, di ba, parang may tension. Parang kung lagi ko makakasalamuha si Rhea, parang, ay, ayoko lumapit kay Rhea kasi hindi ko gusto paano siya magtrabaho eh. Hindi ko na siya kinakausap. Hindi na namin pinag-uusapan ni Rhea ano yung problema niya. 'Di ba? Ang pangit nun kasi kung hindi natin napag-uusapan yung mga bagay-bagay, paano naman malalaman ng other person kung ano yung dapat niyang ayusin? Laging may tension, ang hirap gumalaw. Lalo na for Rhea, na kung si Rhea yung iniiwasan ko, hindi ko yung nakausap na maayos, nasihirapan siya talagang mag-contribute sa kung anong dapat namin gawin. Kasi parang alam mo yun, uneasy, hindi niya ako may parang takot siyang parang praning siya na galit ako sa kanya pero hindi ko sinasabing diretso sa kanya. Ganon. Okay? So that's dysfunction number 2 or fear of conflict. So a good test, so isipin mo kung para makita mo kung may fear of conflict ba kayo, mag-try kang mag-bring up. Kapag nag-meeting kayo ng team mo, mag-try kang mag-bring up ng pangit na idea. Legit to ha, kunwari nag-meeting kayo, tapos magsabi ka ng pangit na idea. Tapos tignan mo ngayon kung oo lang ba sila or pag-uusapan siya. Kasi kung umoo lang sila agad-agad na hindi nyo na pinag-uusapan dahil kunwari ikaw yung president. Ikaw yung president ng org. Nagbigay ka ng pangit na idea. Pero dahil presidente ka, umoo na lang sila. Kung umoo na lang sila at hindi nyo pinag-usapan, ibig sabihin may problema kayo. Kasi alam mo mismo pangit yung sinabi mo, pero alam nilang pangit yung sinabi mo, pero hindi nila sinasabi sa'yo. You have fear of conflict, and that's a problem. Okay? So for number 3, we have our lack of commitment. And for the lack of commitment, if you are in a team, and if your team members are difficult to commit to decisions, and if they're creating an ambiguous environment, and if they have a lack of direction, and they feel like disgruntled. We usually have the lack of commitment if team members feel like wala kayong patutunguhan. Kung wala kayong roadmap, kung hindi nila alam kung saan kayo papunta. And mahirap kasing mag-commit sa isang bagay na hindi naman natin alam kung ano yung kalalabasan, di ba? So, kung it's super connected to dysfunction number 4, which I'll be discussing more about to the next slide. Okay? So if you guys don't really commit to the decisions, it creates this ambiguous environment na lahat uncertainties. Parang ang hirap malaman kung saan ba talaga tayo papunta. Kasi ako mismo hindi ako committed sa ginagawa natin. Ganon. Okay? So for number 4, we have an avoidance of accountability. So kung ang team members mo, hindi sila committed sa clear plan of action, or hindi nila, if they avoid interpersonal discomfort, ganon, And if they don't call out their peers on actions and behaviors that may seem unproductive, then you have an avoidance of accountability. So dysfunction number 3, which is the lack of commitment, is actually very connected to dysfunction number 4. Because for instance, hindi na nga committed yung members mo sa ginagawa nyo, then dahil hindi siya committed, then ang mangyayari niyan, hindi na siya accountable dun sa ginagawa nyo. Okay? So connected siya kasi if ako kunwari, hindi naman ako committed dun sa gusto nating gawin. For example, hindi ako committed na magbigay ng webinar today. Pero in-invite ako ni Rhea, ako, dahil hindi naman ako committed in the first place, wala naman ako feeling ko, wala akong accountability na, magbibigay pala ako dapat ng talk today, ng 2 p.m. Okay? Dahil hindi ako committed doon sa napag-usapan namin, dahil hindi ko naman alam kung saan papunta, hindi na ako sisipot. Diba? Ganun siya. And then for the dysfunction number 5, inattention to results. So, ito na yung pinaka-top ng dysfunctions natin. So, dysfunction number 5 is when team members put their own needs ahead of the goals of the team. And usually, people lose sight of the need for achievement. So, ang sinasabi lang dito ay, kung hindi nyo na nakikita, kung saan yung patutunguhan nyo. Na kunwari ako, president ako ng isang organization at wala na akong pakialam sa kung anong nangyayari sa organization ko na parang, nandito lang ako para sa posisyon ko, nandito lang ako para mas maganda yung CV ko, gano'n. Di ba parang ang pangit nun kasi hindi ko naaayos yung paano ko patakbuhin yung organization kasi selfish ako eh. Kasi ang gusto ko lang naman pala in the first place ay posisyon. Ang gusto ko lang naman pala in the first place ay mabigyan ng parangal dahil ako ay president ng isang organization. So, hindi ko nakikita na ang resulta nito, pangit na yung nangyayari sa organization. Pumapangit yung pag-handle kasi hindi ko ginagawa na maayos yung trabaho ko. Okay? So, for instance, in another kapag may member ka na ganito, hinayaan mo lang siyang magpalakol, ganun, walang ginagawa or something, na hinahayaan mo lang siyang hindi sumulpot, ganun, parang hindi mo naiintindihan na yung ginagawa niyang to, it actually trickles down to generations. So, dahil nakikita ng iba na siya hinahayaan lang siya na hindi sumisipot, hindi man lang sinasanctionan, hindi man lang pina-follow up. Di sila feeling na, okay lang palang hindi sumipot. Ang tendency, lahat na yan sa susunod hindi nasisipot dahil hinayaan mo itong isa na hindi sumipot. Okay? That's what we call inattention to results. Hindi mo nakikita kung ano yung resulta ng ginagawa mo to the future generations. Okay? So now that we identified the 5 dysfunctions of a team, let's have a recap. So the absence of trust, it's called invulnerability, in other words. If you're afraid to be vulnerable with the people that you're working with, if you don't really feel like you're comfortable sharing your secrets, sharing your problems, then you have a problem. Okay? Because when you're working in a team, di ba sabi ko kanina, you're supposed to talk about your problems. Dapat malaman nila na may problema siya, kaya hindi mo na siya makakapagbigay ng maayos today. Para alam nila anong i-expect sa'yo. So you have to be vulnerable enough to tell them how you're feeling about things. And when you have the fear of conflict, you actually have artificial harmony. For artificial harmony, feeling natin, di ba parang, masaya lang lahat, maayos kami, magaling kaming team. Pero yun pala, may tensions na tayong nabubuo sa likod. Parang ang bigat ng pakiramdam na makipagtrabaho sa mga ka-ordinates natin kasi parang, hindi harmony talaga. Artificial lang, parang ang fake ng lahat ng tao. Parang ang plastic, ganon. So that's what we call fear of conflict. For the lack of commitment, we call it ambiguity because if teams feel like a lot of things are uncertain in the organization or in the plan that you want them to execute, then you have an ambiguous environment. And when you have an avoidance of accountability, if you don't call people out for not being able to deliver what they're supposed to deliver, you're kind of having low standards. Because hinahayaan mo lang sila eh. Ibig sabihin parang bumababa yung standards mo mismo as a person, as a leader. Okay? Kasi di ba kunwari may project tayo, may malaki tayong project, ang gusto natin, magkaroon tayo ng 300 plus na attendees. Pero dahil ayaw niyang gumawa ng maayos, di ba parang mag-a-adjust ka na mag-a-adjust sa kanya. Hindi, okay na yung 150, ganon, okay na yung 200. Di ba parang, ang goal natin ay 300. So bumababa yung standards natin kasi hindi natin siya ma-call out. Hindi natin siya masabihan na dapat accountable ka dahil ang goal natin ay 300. Okay? And when we talk about inattention to results, when we recap, it's status and ego. If people are selfish in their own ways, they usually tend to only think about their own status and their own ego. Okay? So those are the 5 dysfunctions of the team. And I want you today to digest all of that. And now let's go and try to move forward from discussing the dysfunctions of a team into actually overcoming the dysfunctions. So paano ba? Ano ba yung tips, Andres? Ano ba yung mababahagi mo sa amin today na magandang gawin para masagot lahat ng problemang sinasabi mo kanina? So here's what you can do about it. So let's try to turn those dysfunctions into functions, okay? So dysfunctions pangit pakinggan, di ba? So let's try to make ourselves productive. Let's make everything productive. Let's make everyone capable of doing their own impact of making a good project. Okay? So let's turn those dysfunctions into functions. So for the absence of trust, my number 1 tip for you guys today is that you have to go first. And when I talk about going first, kailangan ikaw mismo kaya mong ano tawag dito? Mauna kang magsabi ng mga problema mo. Kasi parang, di ba, usually, ang dinidiscuss natin sa school, sa mga personal development class natin, para tayong mga onion, para tayong mga sibuyas, na marami tayong layer, bawat isa. So dapat, di ba, itong mga layers na to, pinipil natin isa-isa, para makita natin yung pinaka-nasa loob na gitna. So as a leader, you should be able to go first, mag-open up ka sa kanila, unahan mo na sila, maging vulnerable ka na sa kanila, sabihin mo sa kanila na, ay, may problema ako, ay, ito yung secret ko, kaya hindi ako ganito. Sabihin mo na sa kanila agad, okay? Because you need to establish trust for you guys to be able to have a great relationship with one another. Because we have to remember that when you're gonna be working in a team, you're supposed to build a relationship with one another. Okay? Hindi na uso yung parang sinasabi natin, professional. Hindi, trabaho lang yan. Wala lang yan. Parang, hindi natin dinadalang dapat na personal na buhay natin sa trabaho. Hindi. Old school na po yun. Dapat ang iniisip natin ngayon, kapag nasa isang organization tayo, if nasa isang group tayo, ay we build relationships with the people that we are working with so that we can actually accomplish greater things. So for the absence of trust, you need to go first. Okay? So, you focus on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Sabihin mo sa kanila, eto, dito ako magaling, so dito ako. Hayaan mo sila na parang sabihin nila sa'yo, ay, dito ako magaling, dito ako masaya, and you actually trust them to do their own roles. You trust them, you trust each other, that you guys are gonna be delivering what you guys are gonna be committing. So set an example. You share your experiences. Ay, ako nagpunta ako sa ganito, maganda yung napuntahan ko, mag-share lang kayo. Magkaroon kayo ng actual space na magchichikahan lang kayo, bonding time lang, parang never have I ever, eto na yung mga nagawa ko sa buhay, para magkaroon kayo ng relationship with one another. And then you try to follow through in multiple ways. You show that you guys are actually concerned about them, and you try to demonstrate your credibility. Syempre, pangit naman na if you trust each other tapos biglang iba naman pala, hindi naman pala totoo yung sinasabi ng isa. So you demonstrate credibility by actually saying only true things, right? And then you develop strong insight into the unique characteristics of your team members. Because when you trust each other, you can now see saan ka ba malakas, saan ka ba mahina, and then you can move forward. And then you can say na, ay, sige, dito kita ilalagay kasi magaling ka dito, at bibigyan kita ng assistant na mas magaling sa'yo sa area na nahihirapan ka. Para mas maganda yung synergy nyo, mas maganda kayo makakapagtrabaho with each other. Okay? So for function number 2, which is fear of conflict, you should be able to mine for conflict. Okay? For mining of conflict, hindi ko sinasabing maghanap kayo ng away, ha? Hindi ko sinasabing makipagkumprontahan kayo. Hindi ko sinasabing bigla mo siyang sampalin, awayin mo, ganun. Hindi ganon. When you mine for conflict, it's supposed to mean you try to bring your conflict to the table. Okay? Hindi ko sinasabing makipagsampalan kayo, hindi ko sinasabing magbangayan kayo. Conflict is supposed to be productive. Okay? Lagi natin iniisip kasi na, ay, hindi ko na lang to i-bring up na idea ko kasi feeling ko mag-aaway kami. Ay, wag na kasi baka ikagalit niya lang. Ay, wag na kasi ganito. Hindi dapat ganon. You should be able to mind for conflict. Hanapin mo talaga. Kung hindi kayo magkakaintindihan, hindi masaya. Kasi mapag-uusapan nyo yung mga bagay-bagay. Mapag-uusapan nyo paano nyo mapapaganda, paano nyo mapapaganda yung gusto nyong mangyari. Kasi again, when you're working in an organization, you're supposed to have a clear goal in mind. Na parehas kayo, gusto nyo pareho na. You want to develop leaders. For instance, kami sa ISEC, kaya kami lahat nagkakaintindihan kasi lahat kami nasa iisa lang yung goal namin. Ang goal lang talaga namin ay makapag-develop ng mas marami pang leaders, mas marami pang youth leaders, mas marami pang student leaders. So kami, kapag feeling namin na ay medyo hindi ayon sa branding, hindi ayon sa gusto natin yung gusto mong gawin, sasabihin ko yun sa kanya directly. Sasabihin ko yun sa mga kasama ko na ay hindi yan maganda kasi hindi siya tama. Okay? Napag-uusapan namin ngayon na alam niya na mali siya or nasasabi niya, ay hindi, maganda to kasi ganyan. And napag-uusapan namin, di ba? Hindi ako basta-basta umuoo kasi alam kong dapat namin yung pag-usapan. Dapat nakikita namin paano pa yun mas mapapaganda. Okay? Because fear of conflict results in team members always feeling some kind of tension. Parang ang bigat ng feeling when you have tension, when you have fear conflict. So, pag-usapan nyo na siya, magbigay kayo ng closure, pag-usapan nyo yan. Okay? Don't be afraid of conflict because conflict resolves problems. When you talk about things, when you have conflict, napag-uusapan nyo eh. 'Di ba? Natatapos yung problema. Hindi na siya nai-stop na lagi na lang kayo may problema. 'Di ba? Natatapos na siya agad. And as a student leader, you should be happy. Matuwa ka that you're actually wrong. Matuwa ka kapag may nag-bring up ng idea na medyo taliwas sa gusto mong mangyari. Matuwa ka kasi concerned sila at nakikita nilang may mas maganda pa tayong pwedeng magawa. Kasi again, isa lang naman yung gusto niyong mangyari eh. When you're in an organization, di ba, ang lagi na lang naman dapat nating iniisip ay, ito yung gusto nating lahat as an organization. Kaya dapat, doon tayo patungo. Okay? So be happy that you're wrong and pag-usapan niyo yung mga problema. So make sure you discuss things. Make sure you discuss and actually talk. You understand that conflict can be productive. Because in these conflicts, you actually can see diverse points of view. You facilitate discussions. Mag-usap kayo, mag-one-on-one kayo, mag-face-to-face kayo. Ano ba yung problema mo? Paano ba natin yan mapapaganda? Paano ba tayo mag-work together? At kaya mo ngayon malista lahat ng pros at cons para makita mo yung bigger picture. Okay? Kasi as a student leader, importanteng nakikita natin lahat ng problema or lahat ng bagay in a bigger picture. Okay? So now that we're done for mind for conflict, let's try to discuss the lack of commitment. And for the lack of commitment, you as a student leader need to force clarity and closure. And what I mean by this is, klaruhin mo na dito tayo papunta. Okay? Because teams don't actually commit. People don't commit to things that they feel like walang basis, walang clarity. Parang lack of commitment kasi, it results from a lot of factors. It's either you don't have them on board with the idea, you don't hear them, or if you have a different vision from the rest of the team. Okay? So, as a student leader, you need to force clarity na, okay guys, ito yung vision natin, dito tayo papunta. Okay? At dito tayo mag-commit lahat. And then, yung next step dapat as a student leader, tanungin mo sila, ano yung gusto mong i-commit? Ano yung kaya mong gawin? Tanong mo siya, ano yung gusto mong trabaho? At siya mismo, pag sinabi niya sa'yo, ako, gusto ko mag-marketing. Edi ibigay mo sa kanya yung marketing para accountable siya na, ay, committed ako kasi sabi ko, marketing. For instance, diba, pag sinabi natin usually, pag sinasabi ko, ay hindi, sige na magbibigay ako ng talk sa'yo today. But I'm actually here and I'm giving you guys the talk. Because ako mismo nag-commit ako, sinabi ko na sige, pumayag ako. Sige, gusto ko yan. So, as a student leader, you let your team members tell you na ito yung gusto kong gawin, then you actually let them do it. Okay? Clarity is the basis of commitment. Pag alam nilang kung saan kayo patungo, kung saan yung gusto nyong tahakin, na daan, doon sila magko-commit. Usually, di ba, when we are in an organization, we have our mission, we have our vision, we have our core values. We have our, our plans. And that's important. Because hindi pwedeng wala kayong, parang kung mahirap gumalaw kasi kapag hindi nyo naman alam kung saan gustong mapunta kayo in the first place. Mas magko-commit ang mga tao kung alam nila kung saan tayo papunta. Di ba? Parang pagpapasok tayo sa isang relationship, lagi natin sasabihin, lagi natin iniisip, pag mag invest tayo ng time, may assurance ba? Bigyan mo naman ako ng assurance. Okay? Kapag may assurance, di ba, saka tayo nagko-commit. So think of it in that way, in that sense. Pag may assurance kung saan tayo papunta, doon nagko-commit ang mga tao. So, now, the other steps that you can take is to actually define clear deadlines, and not only the actions, but for the decisions themselves. So mag-set ka, okay, in 2 days, bigyan mo ko ng attend, bigyan mo ko ng report. In 3 days, next week, bigyan mo sila ng actual date kung kailan nila dapat sa'yo i-submit. Kasi hindi pwedeng, bigyan mo ko ng song by, basta bigyan mo ko ng song. Tapos wala ka namang binigay na deadline. Kailan ko bibigay sa'yo? Kailan ko siya dapat matapos? So, kaya kong mag-commit kasi alam ko kung kailan ko siya mabigay sa'yo. Okay? And then, you make sure everyone is heard. Tanungin mo nga sila again, ano ba yung gusto mong magawa? Anong gusto mong gawin? And then you summarize all key points for your members to understand. Okay? So once you do all of this, you now have your clarity and you now have your closure. So the only problem you have now is the avoidance of accountability. So for the avoidance of accountability, you need to confront difficult issues. Because people kasi usually are not accountable to things if hindi sila kino-call out ng mga taong kasama nila. So as a student leader, you need to confront difficult issues. Sabihin mo sa kanya, hindi, sabi mo sa akin kanina, gusto mo mag-marketing. Nilagay kita sa marketing, kaya dapat mag-marketing ka. Kasi yan yung kinomit mo sa akin. So dapat you hold this person accountable. Kasi yan yung sinabi mo sa akin. Yan yung pinag-usapan natin in the first place. Sabi mo sa akin marketing. Okay? So ayusin mo yung trabaho mo as marketing. Okay? So for confronting difficult issues, sabi ko nga kanina, when things don't commit, you can't have accountability. Okay? The lack of commitment kasi results in team members not making each other accountable. And if one person has not really bought into the idea or bought into the decision, then they won't be able to make their peers accountable. So you need to make sure that all of you guys are in the same page. All of you guys actually commit to your mission, vision, and core values. And then after that, kapag lahat kayo napag-decide nyo na yun, nag-commit na kayo sa lahat ng decisions na yun, then kapag may tumaliwas na isa, make sure that all of you actually call this person out. Lahat kayo as a team, sabihan nyo na, hindi, eto yun ang pag-usapan natin, mag-meeting tayo. Di ba? Usapan natin dati, mag-marketing ka. So dapat mag-marketing ka ng maayos kasi yan yung kinamit mo. Make that person accountable. Okay? So, you need to make clear ano ba yung standards nyo, ano yung kailangan nyo magawa, sino yung dapat gumawa, at kailan dapat gawin. Okay? So mag-hold ka ng meetings, pwede ka rin minsan mag-reward ng team achievements. So you can parang encourage them more to, anong tawag dito? Encourage them more to actually do their own jobs, to make themselves accountable. Okay? So, when you try to ensure accountability, kasi it always involves peer pressure. Because team members will feel hesitant if they let other people down. Okay? Because they respect them. For instance ako, kaya ko continuously ginagawa yung trabaho ko, or kaya ako kasi nape-pressure ako na yung mga kasama ko sa ISEC, yung mga kasama kong VP sa ISEC, nagagawa nila ng maayos yung trabaho nila. Tapos ako hindi. Ang nangyayari kasi minsan sa amin parang, syempre minsan ako, meron ako nakakalimutan. Kunwari, may deliverable kami. May kailangan akong tapusin na tracker, may kailangan akong tapusin na report. Tapos, ang lagi kong tatanungin na una, uy, nagawa mo na ba? Natapos mo na ba yung sayo? Di ba pag nasa class tayo, tinatanong natin yung mga klase natin, uy, tapos mo na ba yung assignment? Uy, nagawa mo na ba? Uy, natapos mo na ba yung pinapagawa ni ma'am? Kasi parang nape-pressure tayo na mag-deliver. So, ganun lang din siya. It's all about peer pressure when you try to hold people accountable. When you guys have enough respect for each other, you guys now tend to deliver on what you guys actually commit to each other. Okay? So don't be afraid to hold each other accountable, because those were your decisions and those are your standards. Because as a team leader, as your own self, your primary source of accountability, or As an individual, your primary source of accountability always are your peers. So you make sure that everyone in the team actually pressures each and everyone within the team na, ay hindi, kailangan natin itong magawa. Okay? So now that we're done, let's go to the last one. So for the number 5, in attention to results, you need to focus on collective outcomes. Di ba sabi ko kanina, if people are selfish, if people are egoistic, parang masyado na nilang iniisip yung sarili nilang kapakanan, then you try to focus on collective outcomes. So for you guys to solve that problem na parang ay nagiging selfish na, isipin mo ngayon, ano ba yung kalalabasan nito para sa buong team? Ano ba yung kalalabasan nito para sa buong organization? Okay? So emphasize that it's always a team effort. You try to be clear that it's the team's results. Now for instance, okay, make sure na kapag pumalpak ang isa, palpak kayong lahat. Okay? It's always a teamwork. Because again, teamwork makes the dream work. Okay? So make sure that you actually communicate to your team members na kapag magaling ang isa, magaling siya dahil magaling tayong lahat. Kapag pumapalpak ang isa, pumapalpak siya dahil hindi natin siya natutulungan lahat. So palpak tayong lahat. Okay? So emphasize that it's teamwork and you actually be clear that it's always a team result. Okay? Pag may nagawa kayong successful project, success nyo yun lahat. Hindi yung success lang ni project manager. Hindi yung success lang ni team leader. Success yung lahat yun, ano man yung position mo. Okay? So you reward people with the behaviors that contribute to the team's results. For instance, congratulations to everyone kasi maaga tayo nakapagpasa ng report. Hindi yung dahil si President inayos niya report na maaga dahil lahat kayo nagbigay ng report na maaga kaya natapos niya rin. Okay? So you motivate one another to continuously see that it's always about the team. It's always about the results that you want as a team. Okay? Next, balik tayo doon sa pyramid. So for the absence of trust, I advise you to go first. Okay? So kailangan mauna ka. Pagkatiwalaan mo sila, magsabi ka ng kailangan mo sabihin mo ano yung mga sikreto mo, ano yung mga hindi. Parang try to build your relationship from this point forward. For fear of conflict, mind for conflict. You talk about your problems and you actually try to discuss how you guys can develop as a team. And for the lack of commitment, you force clarity and closure. Kailangan klaro sa lahat na dito tayo papunta. And for the avoidance of accountability, you actually confront difficult issues. Sabihin mo sa kanya, committed ka dito, di ba? So dapat accountable ka. And then for inattention of results, you focus on collective outcomes. You focus that it's the result of a team. Okay? So, for those are Patrick Lencoli's 5 dysfunctions of a team. So I guess I'm going to be sharing with you guys now some team management strategies that I've learned all throughout my, I guess, stay as like a team leader, ganon, as like a vice president. So, what I advise you to do, so for number 1, you need to be transparent. Okay? Be transparent, you share what you need to share, and you use the necessary tools and trackers. And what I mean by this is, you need tools that you can see kung nagagawa ba ng isa't isa yung trabaho nila. May trackers kayo na nakalagay doon, o na-contact na ba yung speaker, o naggawa na ba yung marketing plan, nakakuha na ba ng partners, nakikita nyo lahat kasi on a bigger scale para lahat alam kung ano yung nangyayari. Be transparent with each other so that you guys can actually hold each other accountable kasi alam mo kung ano yung nangyayari. For number 2, keep communicating. And when I talk about keep communicating, have bonding activities outside of work. Sabi ko nga kanina, diba, ang focus mo dapat as a team leader, makapag-build ng relationship with your team members. So you communicate with them, you talk to them, mag-bonding kayo, magkaroon kayo ng team day, mag-game night kayo kung gusto mo, mag-outing kayo kung gusto mo, di ba? Kaya tayo may mga company outings sa summer, kaya tayo may mga ganun, kaya tayo may team building. Because ang gusto natin, maganda makipagtrabaho sa isa't isa ang mga employees natin, ang mga team members natin. Okay? And for number 3, you provide valuable feedback. You make your members feel more inspired to do better. And as a team leader, this is important. Nakakalimutan ng maraming tao to. Na as a team leader, ina-expect lang nila na magawa ng lahat ng maayos yung trabaho nila. When they don't actually give valuable feedback. And giving feedback is actually very important. kailangan masabi mo sa kanya, paano ka ba makakapag-develop? Paano mo ba mapapaganda yung isa mong report? Okay? Paano ka makakapag-develop? Paano mo mas mapapaganda? Paano mo ako mas mapapasaya as your team leader? Okay? So dapat masabi mo sa kanila na, ay, next time, baka pwedeng lagyan mo ng sources yung report mo para mas maganda yung grade natin, gano'n. Okay? So you provide valuable feedback para alam ng mga tao, ano ba yung kailangan nilang ayusin? Mahirap naman kasing mga pa. Kung hindi ko alam in the first place, ano ba yung problema sa akin? Ano ba yung dapat kong i-develop? Okay? Mas feel nilang concerned ka sa kanila kapag sinabi mo sa kanila na, ay, eto yung feedback ko sa'yo. Kung pangit man yung feedback mo, it's fine. Kung maganda yung feedback mo, it's fine. Ibig sabihin mo, ma-feel nila na, ay, nakikinig siya, ay, nakikita niya ako. Okay? So you provide valuable feedback. So number 4, you encourage collaboration. So you create a clear and compelling cause for your members. So for instance, again, sabi ko kanina with my example, ako sa ISEC, kaya ako committed magbigay ng free lectures, magbigay ng sessions sa mga tao, is because compelled ako sa vision namin na dapat makapag-empower kami ng mas marami pang leaders. That we create more leaders for a better future. I'm committed to that cause. And I continuously collaborate with other people because I am compelled to that cause. I want that cause. I want to give to that cause. Okay? So for instance, di ba, mahirap naman, for instance, na magmamount ka ng isang Pride event. Okay? Isang Pride Month event, na ang isang team member mo ay isang homophobic or hindi naniniwalang okay lang na meron tayong LGBT community. Maghirap yon kasi hindi siya compelled na magtrabaho para dun sa event mo. So kailangan compelling para sa members mo yung cause of why they're there. Show them, ito yung impact na magagawa natin. This is how much help that you are gonna be sharing to the world. Okay? And for number 5, you actually trust your team to do their job. You delegate tasks while staying on the loop. Okay? So, this is important. Hindi pwedeng praning ka masyado. Hindi pwedeng masyado kang hindi mo sila pa nagkakatiwalaan. So, parang, hindi pangit yung mantra na parang, the best person who can do the job is myself. Hindi dapat ganon. You need to trust other people. You need to trust your colleagues to actually do their job. Okay? Kasi, nasa team kayo and you have to trust each other that you actually have the same vision, that you actually contribute to the same goals that you guys want to achieve. So you trust them to do their own jobs. Okay? And for the last tip I have for you guys today is you try to prevent burnout. So for this one, you need to set clear boundaries and limits within your team. So you can tell them na parang hindi na tayo pwede mag-meeting beyond 10 p.m. Kailangan 6 days a week lang tayo mag-uusap kasi Sundays, time off natin, day off natin, ganun. So, important to within a team kasi lahat tayo napapagod and lalo na ngayong pandemic. Lahat ng tao napapagod. So you need to prevent burnout by setting your boundaries and limits with your team. You need to respect each other's time. You need to respect each other's private space. Okay? So you prevent burnout by setting your boundaries and limits. Okay? So those are all my tips. And I guess for the last words of my talk today, I want you to remember that great teams are born, they're not made. Okay? Great teams are born from the effort of everyone who are actually making an effort to build the team. It's always about building a good team dynamic. So great teams are born from your efforts as a team leader to actually have a good team experience. Okay? Hindi siya basta-basta kung iisipin mo, pagsasama-samahin natin lahat na magagaling sa mundo sa iisang kwarto. Pero kung lahat sila, hindi naman sila marunong makisama sa isa't isa, then you can't have a good team. Balik tayo dun sa sinabi ko nung simula, hindi natin kailangan ng magaling. Ang kailangan natin, magaling makisama. Wala akong pakialam, when I'm in a team, when I lead my team, hindi ko kailangan ng magaling, hindi ko kailangan ng stellar. Kailangan ko lang ng mga taong kaya makipag-cooperate sa isa't isa. Kasi lahat naman ng bagay, nagagawa yan, basta lahat tayo nagtutulungan. Hindi ko kailangan ng taong makasarili, hindi ko kailangan ng taong ang ang sarili niya lang ang iniisip niya. Kasi ang kailangan ko, yung taong kayang makipag-usap sa iba ng maayos. Okay? So great teams are born from the effort that you guys actually put into building a good team dynamic. For my second, it's up to you as a team leader to recognize what dysfunction prevents your team from pursuing and achieving common results. So as a team leader, dapat ikaw mismo, makita mo ngayon sa team mo, ano ba yung problema nyo, and you actually make the actual steps to resolve those dysfunctions. Nasabi ko na sa inyo, yung 5 dysfunctions, and now what you have to do is you actually try to apply the advice or the tips that I've given you of how to answer the dysfunctions. And for the last one, you, as a team leader, as an individual, have the power to lead your team to greatness. You have the capacity to lead your team into greatness because I believe in you. We are all leaders. We are all capable of actually creating an impact. And it's up to you to enable your members. It's up to you to empower more people because again, you have the power to lead your team to greatness. As long as you know what dysfunctions that you have and that you know how to solve these dysfunctions, then you can be the greatest team leader that you will ever have. Okay? So, again, you need to lead and manage by example. Okay? Lead and manage by example. Again, sabi ko nga, di ba? Go first. Be proactive. Ikaw mismo, manguna ka. Lead by example. Show that you actually trust people. Show that you actually give meaningful feedback. Show that you are actually committed to what you guys want to achieve. And show that you actually know what results you want to get. Okay? And again, I guess that's my last slide for today. Thank you so much for joining me. This is my session for the dysfunctions of a team. Again, I'm Andres, the local committee vice president for innovations at ASEC in UP Manila. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. Lagi po nating tandaan, I guess, just to close, with Andres, we can address. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Sir Andres.
Wow, with Andres, we can address.
Yes.
Wow. So thank you, Sir Andres, and I hope you're still on the line. Nandiyan ka pa po ba?
Yes.
Yes, because we'll entertain some questions. And of course, we'd like to thank you in behalf of Daraga Community College and Care 104.3 The Way FM. So, let me just read some comments here. Meron ka na ba dyan, Rhea?
So I have here from Miss Ana Angelino Comora. Well, actually, there are roaring lions behind the cats and all of us. We are all born leaders, need lang ihasa, and need lang mabigyan ng opportunity para mag-lead.
Mm-mm. At sabi naman ni Jordan Banania, being an officer is not just about the position itself. We have roles and we have to express or develop our capabilities. At yan ang nakikita sa atin ng ating mga kaklase, sabi niya. So, be humble daw, sabi niya. So, meron ding mga tanong.
Yes, may questions din po tayo dito. At ang isa po sa mga questions na nandito ay, paano ka po magsusorry sa isang co-leader mo na nagawan mo ng mali or nagkaroon kayo ng misunderstanding? Is it okay to ibaba daw po ba yung ego niya or yung pride niya?
Okay. Very interesting question. And actually, nandun na din yung sagot sa question niya. Yes, kailangan mong ibaba yung ego and pride mo. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, you need to go first. Okay? Parehas naman kayo ng gustong mangyari. So, ibaba mo na yung sarili mo. Kung gusto mo nang matapos, tapusin mo na. Ibaba mo na yung ego mo, ibaba mo na yung pride mo. Pag-usapan nyo na yan. Tapusin nyo na, magkaroon na kayo ng closure. Okay?
Yes.
That's it.
That's not a forced closure, I guess. Right, Andres?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ito nangyayari to kasi ako as a teacher, Mr. Andres, yung may mga group activities. Tapos ang usual complaint ng leaders or some leaders ay hindi tumutulong yung kanyang team. So nagkakaroon ng mga conflict. So how do you think, based from your experience, how do you solve those kind of conflict kapag hindi nagpa-participate yung lahat ng yung mga grupo?
Oh, okay. So for this one, we have, I guess I can share a course plan of what we can
Mm.
actually do.
Mm.
So ang ginagawa ko usually, syempre, as a leader, I have to be empathetic. Okay?
Mhm.
Kailangan nakikiramdam din ako na, ano ba yung pinagdadaanan niya? Kaya niya
Mm.
ba actually gawin ito? Kaya niya bang
Mhm.
mag-commit dito? So, kakausapin ko muna. Pero pag, alam mo yun, kung syempre dapat as a leader, kailangan din natin isipin kung ano ba yung effect nito sa team na to, sa team
Mhm.
natin. Kasi
Mhm.
kung, again, siguro I'd like to share this mantra that I have. What you permit, you promote. So kung
Mm.
hahayaan mo lang siyang magstay sa team na wala naman siyang ginagawang maayos, parang lahat na lang ng team members mo, baka isipin na, ay, okay lang pala yun. So, kung
Mm.
wala talaga, nakausap mo na siya ng diretsahan na kailangan mong gumawa, pero ayaw niya talagang mag-deliver, then it's time for you to cut him off. It's okay to be empathetic. It's okay to be a situational leader that you try to understand how best to work with this person. But if this person actually doesn't want to change, doesn't
Mhm.
actually want to contribute, then it's time for you to let him go. Kasi
Mm.
you're gonna be compromising the well-being of yourself and of course the well-being of the team that you're in.
Okay. So, parang nakuha ko
Yes.
dun kay Andres is be empathetic. So, alamin yung sitwasyon din nung kung bakit di siya nakakapag-function. And at the same time, kausapin din, maging confrontational. Kasi tayo mga Filipinos, medyo non-confrontational tayo. And
Yes.
then, later on, kailangan na pala ding i-let go kung talagang hindi siya
Tumutu.
tumutulong. So, how do we properly let the person go? Kasi masakit din naman yun. Andres, from your experience, how do you do that?
From my experience, nagsiset ako ng one-on-one meeting. So
Mm.
pinag-uusapan ko muna na parang, nililista ko lahat ng parang, in the past, ganito ka, and I feel like medyo hindi maganda yung contribution mo to the team. So dahil ganon, parang, I need to let you go because I feel like you have your potential, but your potential can be utilized in a different organization. Just not our organization, just not our group right now. Maybe a different company can actually value you, but right now we're not looking for someone who can not work well with our team right now.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
So,
may tanong pa.
yes, I have here one question from Maria Noemi Sireras Lozada from English F. I guess this one is a second year student. Knowing about leadership. What are the most important values you demonstrate as a leader?
Mm.
Okay. So as a leader, and I'll share na lang din. So here in ISEC, we actually have leadership qualities that we want to develop. So this is important. Syempre, number one, as a leader, you need to be self-aware. Alam mo dapat saan ka nagkukulang, saan ka malakas, kasi mahirap naman mag-develop continuously or parang ang hirap naman na um, mag-empower ng ibang tao kung hindi mo naman alam sa sarili mo saan ka ba dapat i-improve. Okay, dapat alam mo kung saan ka dapat mag-improve, saan ka malakas. Then after that, you need to empower more people. It's important for leaders to continuously empower those that that work with them because empowered leaders empower leaders. Okay? So let's keep that into mind na we as leaders need to continuously empower more people to actually do their own roles and to actually step up for future roles. So yeah.
So, yun talagang
Mm.
ginagawa ng leaders. Leaders empower others.
Yeah.
So, Andres, ito pa may tanong pa sa'yo. So, paano naman daw kung yung leadership style ng isang tao ay hindi siya yung nagko-consult sa kanyang mga kagrupo. Pero nabanggit mo yung kanina, ano yung mga dysfunction. So, how do the team respond kung yung leader nila is hindi siya nagko-consult naman sa kanyang mga kagrupo? Mm-mm.
Doing
Oh.
actions.
Mm-mm.
So for this one naman, very funny. So, yung leader na yung problema, no? So for this one kasi, it's kind of tricky kasi, ang pwede mo sigurong gawin right now is you try to find if meron pa bang mas mataas sa kanya. So kunwari, isa kayong organization, di ba? Siyempre lahat ng organization, lahat ng school organizations, meron yan kanya-kanyang school organizational advisor. So if kung ayaw ngayon makinig nung org president nyo, ganon, kausapin nyo kayo na mas mataas sa kanya. As a team to ha, hindi pwedeng ikaw lang mag-isa. Kailangan syempre i-consult mo rin yung buong lahat ng kasamahan mo. And then you talk to your org advisor, sabihin mo na hindi po namin siya maayos. Hindi po siya maayos mag-lead, hindi po namin siya makasundo, ganon. And then saka nyo ngayon makikita, paano ba natin to sasagutin. You can also try to review yung mga rules and regulations niyo sa organization. Kung kayo mismo may loss of confidence na kayo of how this person leads, you can try to find ways of how to remove this person if meron naman kayong standard rules and regulations. Kasi di ba ganun yun? If hindi nakikinig, if ayaw ng feedback, ayaw ng whatever, they're not fit to lead you in the first place.
Okay. So, if the team has already exhausted all efforts to reach out to the leader na hindi daw nakikinig, then they can escalate the concern to a higher officer or yung organizational advisor or higher than that. Okay. Pero as a team, sabi nga ni Andres. Thank you, Andres. Meron pa bang other questions?
We have here one question from Mr. Lep Pelonia Navera. How to address a failure in a leader po if may na-notice ang members na something po na mali na di na-offend po yung each member of a group.
So for this one, ang masasabi ko lang talaga is you need to set expectations with each other. Na, so kapag kukumprontahin mo siya, sasabihin mo sa kanya na gusto ko, paramdam mo sa kanya na concerned ka. Parang, when you try to set the atmosphere, when you try to set the mood, sabihin mo sa kanya, I'm telling you this because I want you to develop yourself. I want you to improve. Para alam niya na you are empathetic and you are actually concerned about their own well-being. So paramdam mo lang sa kanya na it's about me being concerned about you. It's more of like you're trying to package things in a better way. I'm concerned about you and what you're doing. So I want you to develop yourself more. Tapos saka mo ngayon sabihin, ano yung problema mo?
Okay. So, basahin ko lang siguro. Thank you, Andres. May nagpapa-shoutout lang dito. Siguro nabanggit ni yung mga qualities of a good leader. Sabi ni Maria Francis Lori Pancho, shout out to Mr. Justin Carl Mendones for being a good leader sa research namin.
Ayun.
Wow. Sana all.
Yeah, sana all. So,
Okay.
commended by Maria Francis. And for you, Andres, what coming from Aljun Villanueva, as a leader, what behavior or attitudes is needed to motivate the team?
For this one, you need to continuously exhibit that you are actually competent. So, sabi ko kanina, di ba, you need to go first. So, balik tayo lagi dun sa basis natin. Go first and you actually show that you are credible enough to lead your team. So, it's important kasi na nakikita nila na ikaw mismo, capable ka to lead the team into greatness. Hindi pwedeng masyado kang palakol, masyado kang aggressive, ganun. Kailangan, sakto lang. Kailangan natitempohan mo lahat ng mga kasama mo sa trabaho.
Ito may pahabol. Siguro last na siguro or meron
Yes.
pa ba?
Wala.
Last, si Liza Magalona, sabi niya naman, as a leader, how do you keep your team engaged in the face of challenges and conflicts?
Okay. So, ang number one sagot ko lang dito is if you feel like if your team is tired, di ba, alam ko naman na kung tuloy-tuloy ang problema, parang hindi natatapos ang problema. Kunwari, ngayong pandemic, ang daming projects, tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Tapos may school pa rin tayo, may other orgs pa rin tayo, di ba? Parang ang bigat na ng lahat. So if you feel like you need a break, you actually give them a break. Magkaroon kayo ng parang 1 week na wala kayong ginagawa for the organization, wala kayong ginagawa for the team, because having a break would actually energize and motivate your team to do better. Na they can bounce back from what they're feeling. Kasi it's very hard right now na to continuously be productive given our situation during this pandemic. So you can try to give the members that you're leading a break just for them to feel more energized and to bounce back from what they're feeling.
Nabanggit nga yan kanina ni Andres, yung mahalaga may bonding pala
Yes.
talaga, outside of your work or task. So, very participative, Mr. Andres, ang ating mga viewers. So, last na talaga to. May
Okay, so,
question pa sa'yo.
Ayun. Yung, siguro ito na po yung last question since marami pa rin po yung nag-PPM sa akin. So, how can you say no to your subordinates para hindi gawing big deal kapag hindi mo gusto yung opinions nila? Like, how can you say no without hurting others? This is from Ana Angelino Camora.
So you need to always communicate the reasons of why you're saying no. So you need to be able to communicate na hindi ako nagno-no dahil ayoko lang. Nagno-no ako kasi ito yung reasons. For example, gusto ko magpa-party pero sa ISEC ako ngayon. Gusto ko magpa-party pero nasa ISEC ako. Bawal siya sa rules namin na magpa-party ang isang ISECer. So, sasabihin ko na, according kasi sa rulebook, or sasabihin sa akin ng president ko, according sa rulebook kasi natin, hindi pwede. Hindi dahil ayoko lang, pero dahil hindi naman kasi talaga siya pwede. So, i-outline mo lahat na ito yung mga rason natin para mapaintindi mo sa kanya. Hindi kasi, usually kasi nakikita nila na parang, nag-no lang siya kasi may personal siyang problema sa akin. No, dapat lang, mapakita mo rin na ito kasi yung legal or like actual basis ko of saying no. Hindi pwedeng nag-no ka lang basta-basta. You tell them the actual reason of why you said no in the first place.
Okay. I guess, are you good pa rin, Andres, sa one last, really last
Last
question?
Sige. Go lang.
So, this is from Mr. Daniel Olivan. And, hello po. How do you stay yourself grounded despite of criticisms of your colleagues? Maraming
Mahirap
makaka-relate
yun.
dito.
Oo, kung leader ka, marami kang
For this one, it's always about going back to where you started. You always have to find your essence. For instance, you're in an organization, you need to know why you're here in the first place and why you continuously work towards attaining that goal. Because, I know that a leader will continuously face challenges, a leader will continuously face criticisms, but then you always have to think about why you're here in the first place. What impact are you making as a leader? Because when you know and you're confident that you're here for a reason, that you're here for a compelling clause, that you actually want to contribute to this, then those comments, those things na sinasabi ng iba won't actually matter to you anymore because you know for yourself that you're here because you want to contribute to something bigger than yourself.
Ayan.
Wow.
Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
So, sobrang inspirational and relatable na topic para sa ating mga students and aspiring leaders.
Yes. Thank you very much, Andres, for your time and for sharing your expertise in the field of student leadership. And kaya nga, ikaw talaga yung nararapat na mag-share dito sa amin. So, I hope maraming na-inspire ng mga DCOMSenians, whether you are a leader in your class, in your group, or you're handling a bigger organization. So, last na lang siguro may nagpapa-shout out din dito ng kanilang leader na gusto niya din daw i-compliment.
Yes.
Si Gerald Perales Codilla, sabi ni Jordan Banania, ikaw daw po ay gusto niyang i-commend and the rest of the co-officers sa PE Club kasi naging productive ang kanilang club and they continue to learn from that. So kudos, insert din daw nila si Ma'am Gladys May Miliana, the PE advisor.
Yan. So, medyo marami po ang nagpapasalamat sa kanilang mga group leaders and organization leaders. For now, we are going to present the Certificate of Commendation to our resource speaker, Mr. Andres Manuel III. So, the citation reads, Republic of the Philippines, Commission on Higher Education, Daraga Community College, College Student Council, Salvacion Daraga Albay. This certificate of commendation is hereby awarded to Andres Manuel III in recognition of his service and sharing invaluable knowledge and expertise as resource speaker during the Leadership Webinar Workshop Series with the theme Student Leadership in Distance Learning, held on May 22, 29, and June 5, 2021 at CARE 104.3 DYFM. Given this 22nd day of May 2021 via Zoom at CARE 104.3 DYFM at Legazpi City, Albay. Signed by Mr. Arnold M. Dolosa, your CSC advisor, Mr. J.F. Nase, Student Affairs and Services Coordinator, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, the College Dean, and to our College Administrator, Dr. Joey M. Zamora.
Yan. So, marami pa nagpapasalamat kay Andres. Sabi ni Gina, thank you so much, Sir Andres. We learned a lot from you. And thank you din daw, sabi ni Gerald and ni Nelly Magdaong, ni Miss Nario and Miss Manrisa at marami pang iba. So, thank you,
Ayan.
Andres. Mm.
And dahil alive na alive pa rin po ang ating mga live viewers sa ating Facebook page, let us all witness how talented the Dicomsinian students are. To give us an intermission number, may we call Miss Clarence Joy H. Nase, the third-year student, B.Ed Block 4.
See it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost in all direction. My fate is shaking, but I gotta keep trying. Gotta keep my head held high. So it's gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes we're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about who's waiting on the other side. It's a climb. I'm facing, the chances I'm taking. Sometimes might knock me down, but I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are moments that I'm gonna remember. Just gotta keep going and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on. 'Cause always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes we're gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about who's waiting on the other side. It's a always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes we're gonna have to love. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's a keep on moving, keep climbing, keep the faith, baby. It's all about the climb. Keep the faith, give me your faith. Whoa.
Thank you, Miss Nasser, for your very entertaining performance. So, as we all know po, napaka-talented talaga ng mga Dicomsinians.
Yes, of course. At saka, ang ganda din ng message ng kanyang kanta, no?
Yes po, ma'am.
Keep on moving. Yan. So, ako hope you will stay with us hanggang 5 o'clock pa po ang ating webinar. So we just would like to thank again our Facebook Live viewers, ang mga Decomsenians who are still here, at yung mga nakikinig din po sa radio. Kahit po hindi kayo from DCOMC, may matututunan po kayo sa ating webinar ngayong hapon na ito. So basahin lang po natin yung ibang mga shoutouts pa at mga additional questions.
Yes, from Mr. Daniel Olivan, thank you so much, Sir Andres and Madam Rhea and Ma'am Clarence. Ang smooth po ng boses nyo.
Wow.
Ayun po. Pwede po shoutout po sa advisor namin na si
Oo.
Madam Hyla Moral ng BKED second year.
Yes, and kasama din natin ngayon si Ma'am Josefina Basilia, ang ating pong guidance counselor. Hello po, Ma'am. And sabi naman ng mga classmates, mga fans ni Clarence Joy Nase, ang galing-galing talaga ni Clarence Joy. And sabi din ng kanya mga friends, ayan, may mga ano daw, may mga palakpak sila, mga virtual claps na
Yes.
sinend. Mm-mm.
So, yung iba po, basahin natin yung ibang comments nila. Like for
Mm-mm.
Ma'am Maria Noemi Lazada. So, for me, leadership is the process of persuasion or example by which an individual or leadership team induces a group to pursue objectives held by the leader or shared by the leader and his or her followers.
Mm. And nagpapa-shoutout din yung mga second year Block 5, BEd Block 5 day shift. Hello daw sa kanilang president, si Eliza Jane Nidea. Hello sa inyo at ayan, so abangan nyo po, napakaganda din ng ating susunod na topic.
Yes,
Oo.
and I would like to shout out din, nagpapa-shoutout po ang mga college student council officers na nasa ating likuran ng napakagandang webinar na ito sa
Mm.
kasalukuyan. So, shoutout din po sa kay Mark John Villena. Hope you're doing good na po.
Yan, get well soon. May sakit. Get well
Get well
soon.
soon.
At kay Ana Nokomor, gusto niyo daw sumali sa school publication. Yan, consult lang tayo sa ating
Yes.
SAS office, how you can join our Decomsenian Forum. Yan po ang
Yes.
ating official school publication.
For more information or queries po, you may reach us sa ating official Facebook page, Daraga Community College, DCOMC Office of Student Affairs and Services official Facebook page, DCOMC College Student Council Facebook page, or with the contact number 0915-260-8652 or 0910-918-51552, and you may email us through dcomc.sas.csc.19@gmail.com.
So while waiting, Rhea, meron bang mga important announcements from SAS or from CSC or from DCOMC?
So, as we all know po, we have this 3-day webinar series po. Mangyayari po ito ng May 22 today, May 29, and on June 5. So, make sure po na nag-attend po kayo and nag-register po kayo sa ating mga registration links. And for the third day po, maging exclusive interactive workshop po ito. So, kailangan po na kayo ay nakapag-attend ng ating 2-day webinar series at nakapag-register din po at the same time. And then, yung mga gusto pong sumali sa ating interactive workshop, which is exclusive nga po ito, mag-send po kayo ng inyong letter of intent sa ating treasurer, CSC Finance Officer, Miss Hanely Asaytuno. We will send the information po later, or we will post it in our official Facebook page for more information.
Okay. So, exclusive pala yung
Yes.
third day nitong ating webinar for student leaders. So, Rhea, how about naman yung post-evaluation form? Where can they see the link? And sino lang yung makakakuha ng e-certificate?
So, for the post-evaluation po, we will post it po again doon sa ating official Facebook page na aking nabanggit kanina. And make sure po na nakapag-fill up po kayo para makatanggap kayo ng e-certificate. So, lahat po ng mag-fill up po sa ating post-evaluation, please matatanggap niyo po yung inyong mga e-certificate. Pero dun po sa mga nag-register lang po at hindi po kayo nakapag-post evaluation, hindi po kayo makakatanggap ng e-certificate dahil ang atin pong pinagbabasehan para sa e-certificate ay ang ating post evaluation.
Mm. So, yan, andito pa ang ating 279 DCOMC students or mga teachers na din kasama. Hello po sa inyo. Nagtatanong si Ma'am Josefina kanina kung nandito na daw ang mga values ed. Andito pa din daw ba yung mga values ed students? So, magparamdam po kayo kay
Um,
Ma'am. Yan, magparamdam kayo dito sa ating comment box if
Yan.
you're still
Comment
here.
na kayo, mga values ed.
Mm-mm.
And to the Filipino majors, wala ba kayong pa-shoutout dyan? Shoutout po kay na Sir Arjun Lobiano and kay Ma'am Melanie Leona. Hi Ma'am and Sir, good afternoon.
Present daw po si Ray.
Present po ako.
Yan. So, obviously, ayan, nandun din si Ma'am Gladys May Millena watching. Hello po, Ma'am Gladys. At sa shout out daw po sa third year BPED. Love you all. Sabi ni Jobert Besmonte.
Super active na mga BPED natin, tsaka na mga BEd students natin,
Oo.
Ma'am.
Paramdam din yung ibang mga from other blocks. O, nandyan na. Yung BS Ed Filipino Block A. Sabi niya nila, thank you daw sa kanilang great leader. President Leonil Zamora Obligacion. Wow. Mhm.
So, ito Ma'am si Obligacion, super active niya rin when it comes to leadership. Talagang nakikita ko rin siya doon sa iba kong organizations outside the city. So, hi Leonil.
Mm. Hello sa inyo. At si Mark dyan, meron siyang definition ng what leadership is all about. Nakita mo ba yun, Rhea?
Medyo late po sa akin, Ma'am.
Medyo mahaba nga lang, Mark. Sige, basahin namin. So, sabi ni Mark, what is leadership? Sabi niya, if someone would ask me about this question, sabi niya, I'll answer it this way. Leadership is not just about holding an office or serving an organization. It goes this way. Yan. The main point is, leadership is how you lead people. Yan. Putting yourself in their shoes. Siguro ito mga reflections to sa discussion kanina ni Mark
Sir
Jan.
Andres. Yes.
Ni Sir Andres. Yan. And leading them to discover their skills or potentials. Yun nga yung sabi din kanina ni Andres. Ikaw, meron ka bang mga reflections or na-realize pa doon sa diniscuss ni Andres?
Dito po, na-realize ko na hindi lang kailangan sympathetic ka and self-centered ka kapag naging leader ka. You have to listen to your co-leaders also. Since hindi mabubuo ang isang organizations kung wala sila. At lalong hindi kayo magtatagumpay kung lagi mo lang isi-self-centered. Kailangan pangkalahatan palagi ang iyong iisipin.
Yeah. So, hindi lang yan kung malaki or maliit. Kahit you're leading just 2 people or 3 lang kayong magkakagrupo, you're still leading them. So, hi kay Beverly Llaneta, yung student ko from BPD. Hello, blessed afternoon din sa iyo. At sa ating mga nagpapa-shoutout pa. Yan, kay Jobert, sabi niya, leadership is also listening to others' opinions. Tama.
And we would like to kamustahin din natin, watching alone at the Office of Student Affairs and Services, Mr. J. Nase.
Hi, Sir J.
Hi, Sir J. Sana okay ka pa po kahit mag-isa ka sa office
Bakit solo
ngayon.
ka dyan, sir?
Wala po kami sa office. Nandito kami.
Sabi ni Marky Sarzuela, sana lahat daw ganun ang mindset. Siguro yung nabanggit kanina ni Mr.
Sir.
Besmonte na listening din to others' opinion. So, stay tuned in kasi we'll know more about what leadership is sa ating next topic. What is our next topic,
Okay,
Rhea?
our next topic will all about, syempre, ganun pa rin, about leadership, servant leadership, and building resiliency amidst and distance learning. So, para sa inyo, pwede ba tayo Para sa inyo, ano ba yung servant leadership? Ano para sa inyo ang pagiging isang resilient leader amidst the pandemic? So, dahil 'di ba po, ma'am, napansin natin na medyo marami yung nagkakaroon ng mga problema.
Yes, oo.
So, sa kalusugan nila, mental health. paano nyo nasusurvive yon sa kasalukuyan.
Yes. And some of our students, mga working pa, mga working
Yes.
students, yung iba may mga family na din kayo. So, you're not just leading, let's say, your organization or your class group, pero yung family nyo pa. You're
Yes.
also leading them. So, how do you balance that? How do you serve? Like parang yan nga, servant leaders kayo and
Yes.
then resilient pa
Yes.
ngayong pandemic. So, you may post here your answers kung ano yung definition ninyo, what servant leadership is all about. Okay, so,
according to Mr. Banania,
mm-mm.
so be open-minded, take responsibly, and be open to your people.
Okay. So, basahin ko lang, nagpapa-shoutout pa si Kate Castro sa kanilang class president with a heart. Si Mr. Ronel Bernardino daw. Thank you for not letting us down. Sabi ng mga classmates niya ata from second year BS Ed Filipino D.
And shout out din po sa 3 BSED Filipino C sa ever supportive classmates ko simula first year. Dahil black section talaga kami. And according to our president na talagang kinokommend namin ang kanyang pagiging servant leader. A good leader must be self-aware and empower more people.
Okay. Sabi naman ni Vivian Lopera. Hi Vivian, sabi niya, shout out po sa second year values education B.
Shout out po from Mr. Gerald Cudilla. Shout out po kay Ma'am Gladys Maymiliana for being a good advisor from PE Club Advisor.
Oh, mukhang mapapa-milk tea kayo niya ni Ma'am.
Nag-expect na po kami
Gladys.
ng milk tea.
Oh, ito may sagot na si Angelica Loremia. Sabi niya, servant leaders concentrate on performance planning, day-to-day coaching, and helping people achieve. Wow.
Talagang ang didip ng mga
Wow, grabe. Oo nga.
baka hulugan
Explain.
nila sa servant leader and resilient leader. So according to Daniel Olivan, leadership should be a blessing to others.
Sabi pa ni Miss Anna, servant leadership is leading voluntarily na hindi ka na maghihintay na pagalawin ng subordinates mo. Be the first to act with your utmost sincerity in the job.
Yes.
Tama.
Okay.
O may sagot
Sige.
pa si Mary
Si-
Joy.
Mary Joy Nieva, servant leaders are not just the one to keep on letting others to do this or to do that. He or she should be willing to serve wholeheartedly. Yes,
Oh.
that's true.
So, parang madami na din sila talagang definition ng servant leadership. Pero mamaya mas magiging deep pa siguro yung understanding natin ng servant leadership nyo as a student. Tama ba? As a
Yes.
student and also as a youth, as a teen. And hindi na pala kayo mga teens, mga youth na talaga kayo. Young adults. And sabi din naman ni Jobert Besmonte, because of this pandemic, talagang gusto ko nang sumuko sa pag-aaral.
I feel
But,
you.
sabi niya, but because of the leaders na nagbibigay sa akin ng motivation, encouragement, here I am, still fighting. Kaya, thank you daw sa mga leaders niya. Tapos, bentang-benta ngayon si Ma'am Gladys.
Yes.
Yan. So, hi Ma'am Gladys. Thank you daw po sa mga words of wisdom from your PE club siguro
Yes,
to.
PA club po ulit.
Advices.
So, si Mr. Brandon Abiera, a servant leader is not threatened by the ideas and inputs of others. They regularly seek out feedback and consider the opinions of others, and behavior encourages innovations and will carry your business into the future.
Wow.
Ang
Ang
lalalim.
gagaling.
Ang
Oo.
lalalim ng kanilang mga...
Hindi. Okay.
Paki-explain.
Thank you so much sa inyong active participation. So, nakikita lamang natin that they are still present. Ayan. So, active pa ang mind. Sabi nga ni Sir Archie, yung kung nandyan kayo kaharap nyo ang inyong radio or ang iyong mga cellphone, mag deep breathing. Yan. Para mas ma-relax kayo and then you adjust or relax your shoulders.
Yeah.
And then, ayan. So, ayan. Wow! Oh, ito naman si Sir Jay naman may kino-commend naman siyang CSE officer niya. Si Miss Rhea, itong aking katabi, is a servant leader daw. So ako mag-a-agree naman diyan
Ay,
kasi
thank
na-witness ko
you,
naman
ma'am.
talaga ang kanilang hard work, yan, and dedication. So, ganun din, marami pa tayong mga servant leaders. Ayan, ang dami talaga ni very active to si Jordan Banania. Ano, si
Yes
Mama
po.
niyo naman daw niya ang i-commend niya. Good vibes niya, superb. Yan.
Yan.
Okay. At si Ma'am Basilia sabi niya, o basahin natin ang message ni Ma'am Basilia.
Okay.
Mhm.
According to Ma'am Basilia, a servant leader is one who puts into practice what Jesus said and did. I came to serve, not to be served.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. So talaga si Jesus ang ating perfect example of a servant leader. Yan. So, yan sabi
Sir Myrus.
ni Myrus.
Yung speaker pala.
Yes. Ayan, ready na ata ang ating speaker. So, yan, mag-prepare na po tayo. If you have your notebooks or pen, mas maganda if you will really take note of the key ideas na isi-share sa atin ni Myrus. And yes, Myrus, if you are now tuned in, yes, ito po ang Care 104.3 The Way FM. Ito po ang regional station ng Far East Broadcasting Company. Yan. So, let us now introduce. Excited na ba kayo mapakinggan ng ating second speaker?
Yes. Are you all
Oo.
excited? Send hearts?
Send hearts.
Send hearts. Ayan.
Or wow. Yan, so
Yan.
ano bang i-discuss niya? Nasabi na kanina ni
So,
Rhea, so
yes.
ulitin lang namin.
We will now proceed to the second part of our Series 1 webinar this afternoon with the topic Servant Leadership and Building Resiliency Amidst and Distance Learning to be i-introduce po sa atin by Ma'am Clarence Bueno.
Okay, so ang ating second speaker ay isa din pong kabataan. So hulaan nyo kung ilang taon din siya. So he is just 19-year-old sophomore siya sa De La Salle University and he is currently taking up development studies and economics. Alam niyo po ba at the age of 9, he started to volunteer. At yun po yung nag-motivate sa kanya, nag-spark ng kanyang passion to serve numerous organizations. And what are these organizations? He established organizations such as the Youth Advocates for the Philippines Incorporated and the ASEAN Youth Advocates Network. At ngayong taon lamang po, this January, he was awarded as the most inspiring youth leader by the Asia Pacific Luminary Awards. And this February naman, he was selected by the United Nations, endorsed by the Department of Foreign Affairs as the United Nations Youth Forum's official Philippine delegate. Recently, he was awarded by the We Are Family Foundation as one of the 40 under 20 global teen leaders for 2021. Let us all welcome Emmanuel Myrus Ponon, the Youth Advocate 2021 Global Teen Leader. So live via Zoom, andito na po kasama natin si Mr.
Sir
Myrus.
Hi, Sir Myrus. Alright.
So while we're waiting for Myrus, yan, so abangan po natin. Grabe, ang dami niya ng awards.
Yes po.
Mm-mm.
At parang hindi ka panipaniwala, pero talagang nagawa ng ating special resources speaker for today na si Mr. Myrus Ponon.
Mm-mm.
And while waiting din po, I would like to commend also our CSC advisor, Mr. Arnold M. Dolosa. At isa po talaga siyang napaka-aktibong advisor kahit na sabihin natin na bago pa lamang siya sa College Student Council, ay talaga namang kanyang ginagalingan ang pagiging active advisor. Siyempre sa tulong din po ng aming chairperson na si Mr. Robert Molieno.
Mm-mm. So, ayan na pala. Thank you talaga sa ating mga organizers. So, now, andito na po kasama na natin live via Zoom. Hi, Myrus!
Okay.
Naayos lang po siguro yung ating audio. Oo. Napaka-ano naman.
Hello.
Ayan na.
Ayan. Hi, Sir Myru.
So,
Ayan, finally.
Hello.
Hello po. Thank you so much for having me. Marhay na hapon po sa imo. Hello.
Hello po.
Hello,
Sige, sir.
sir.
You may
Yes.
now, we'll give the floor na po sa inyo to share to us about servant leadership.
All right. Thank you so much, Care 104.fm. Sa lahat ng nanonood, hello?
Sige.
Hello. Rinig po ba ako?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
po.
Mm-mm.
You may continue po, sir.
Ayan. I am a big... Okay. All right. Ulit, marhay na hapon sa imo. I'm Myros. And thank you so much for that introduction, no? And yeah, for today, we have a very, very great topic all about servant leadership. I guess there are technical difficulties that we're experiencing at the moment, but I hope you hear me very clearly. Do you hear me? So, yeah, I guess I do not see those who are listening right now.
Nasa ano kayo, Sir Myrus? Napapakinggan po kayo sa radio at the same time po, live po
Live.
tayo sa Facebook.
So, yung sinend ko po, Sir Myris, na link, you may click it po para makita nyo rin po yung mga live comments sa ating FB. Nawala siya. Wait lang po.
Nawala si Sir. Siguro may
Technical difficulties.
internet problem.
Yes.
So, while we're waiting for Sir Myrus to reconnect,
Napawaw ba kayo sa achievement ni Sir Myris bilang isang student leader?
Ayan.
Na-amaze ba kayo sa mga achievement niya?
Marami nang nagigreet sa iyo, Sir Myrus. So, let's just wait for him. At yan, magsisimula na ang ating next or last topic for this afternoon.
Okay, as of now, reconnecting pa din po sa atin si Sir Myris.
So, thank you for staying with us sa ating 269 students watching via Facebook Live ng Care 104.3 The Way FM.
Okay. Shout out po kay Ma'am JC Lazada from Marilex Mayan.
Thank you sa mga naglilay parang heart and care emoticons. Yan. So, I'm sure you're all excited to hear Sir Myrus. May kaedad nyo lang ata ito si Sir Myrus. 19 years old.
19 years old.
Oo. So, while we're waiting for Sir Myrus, you can also tune in here at Care 104.3 The Way FM. Meron po tayong mga youth programs like #Youth Today every Saturday. Yan. Hosted by Marjorie Pokua and Jetro Tiansay, Josiah, and Teacher Clay. Yan. So, para yan sa inyo, mga young people. Yan. Kung may gusto kayong malaman mga issues din about makaka-relate kayong mga kabataan. So, nandiyan na ba si Sir Cyrus? Ay, Sir Myrus? Oh, sorry. Sir Myrus.
Nako, naging Miley Cyrus
Sorry.
ako.
Napaghalo ko tuloy yung Miley Cyrus. Sige, nandiyan na pala si Sir Myrus.
Ayan, so may I start?
Sige po.
Pwede na bang magsimula? All right. I hope that, this Wi-Fi really at times may be inconsistent. So please do tell me. I may not see you as of right now, but I will definitely check your comments as we will undergo this hour that we will be together. First and foremost, thank you so much, Care 104.3 FM, and of course, Daraga Community College for inviting me. This is actually my second speaking engagement for today. And after receiving the award that was mentioned earlier, the Global Teen Leader, We've had a lot of media interviews, and this has been the 7th day in a row na may talk. And, it's been really something that I really do love. Prior to the award, speaking has been my passion. And you know what? To give you emphasis, isa akong shy boy earlier. And I mentioned again also that I am Bicolano, to also give insight on who am I. So again, marahay na hapon sa imo, Diyos mabalos po, especially sa mga kapwa Bicolano dyan. So for today, we'll be talking about servant leadership and building resiliency amidst this distance learning that we are experiencing. And this is not only on my case, lahat tayo, alam ko, nag-focus on distance learning. And this is why this is very important. But to give you a spoiler, ngayon pa lang, regardless if may pandemic or wala, servant leadership is actually very important. It's always been. Narinig ko kanina sa ating mga host na, Jesus was is the best example of what a servant leader is. And for us to get to redefine or get to know what it takes to be a servant leader, we will tackle this one by one. And so I'll be sharing my screen. I hope you do see it. All right. So I hope you do see my screen. This is the Youth Advocate's PowerPoint. Again, servant leadership and building resiliency amidst distance learning. My name is Myros Ponon. Yes, lagi kong sinasabi, how do you call me? Basically, sinasabi ko, virus pero M. Papalitan mo lang yung V ng M. Yun, Myros Ponon po. Yung mga host natin, na pagkamalan ako Miley Cyrus, nung grade school pa po ako, lalo na nung sikat si Miley Cyrus sa It's the Climb, yung laging kinakanta kapag recognition or kapag graduation, no? Lagi yung inaasar na Miley Cyrus. But yes, my name is Emmanuel Myros, and you can call me Myros. Again, I was mentioned as a recent awardee of the We Are Family Foundation. I lead the ASEAN Youth Advocates Network and Youth Advocates for the Philippines. This August, after receiving honors nga from the United Nations and a global organization, mag-expand tayo. We will be the Global Youth Advocates Network by International Youth Day. And I've been volunteering for the past 11 years, and for me, it's been an amazing journey. And I hope that you get to partake in this as well. And as I'm sharing this, I'm not sharing this because I want to brag about myself. I'm here to be a representative. Because again, actually, to clarify, I just turned 20. Siguro nabigay ko yung bio note ko nung 19 pa ako. But last week lang kasi ako naging 20. So I recently turned 20. And before we begin, I do encourage you to share your story. Una, hindi ko na kayo nakikita. So let me see if you are listening. So I hope you're listening right now. If you are a big fan of Facebook story, Instagram story, TikTok, please do tag me, and of course the organizations that I represent. You may add me on Facebook, you may communicate with me, as that is what I want. In this world na hindi na tayo nagkakakita, ang isang opportunity na nakikita natin is tayo na magkakasama. And why don't we connect? Hindi lang dapat magtatapos sa magiging talk after the next hour. That's not what a servant leader is, as we will define what a servant leader is for later. So sana ready na kayo? And so, unang question ko sa inyo is, nandito ka because gusto kong tanungin kayo, bakit ka nandito? Dahil ba gusto mo lang magka-certificate? Dahil nandito crush mo, nakikinig para may conversation starter ka? Uy, crush, grabe, nandito ako sa webinar ng Daraga Community College. Ano ba? Bakit kayo nandito? And regardless kung individual yan, regardless kung ano yan, sana magbago. And minsan, alam ko, may mga speaker na boring. I'll try my best not to. Let's make it engaging kahit hindi tayo magkakita eye to eye. So, with that said, let's start. Let's do it back to the basics. Every time na I get invited, I've been invited through more than 300 speaking engagements already. And I would always use this, the Golden Circle, popularized by one of my inspirations, Simon Sinek. That is a motivational speaker and best-selling author. And basically, madali lang. I use this because it's very easy, yet it can be so deep. Tatlong questions lang ang sasagutin natin. What, how, and why? Seatwork nga natin sa school, no high school, grade school, kahit nga college, 10 items, ang rami. Ito, tatlo lang. And it can be very light or very deep, depending on how you want to take from this talk. Why, how, and what. And as we talk about servant leadership, we will be answering these three questions. Number one, what is servant leadership? How can we start to talk about servant leadership if we can't even define what it is? Number two, paano? How can I become a servant leadership? Once we get to identify what a servant leader is, now we get to have these essentials on why or how it's important or how we can be servant leaders. Lastly, ang pinaka-importante, ang core, nasa gitna ng bilog is why it is important to be a servant leader. Bakit nga ba importante? Why is it important to be a servant leader? Why are we having this talk right now? And this is something that we will be answering by the end of the next hour. And so, if first time nyo lang marinig yung golden circle, and kung sa tingin nyo, gawa-gawa ko lang to, hindi po. And para magets nyo, let's look at something na romanticized. Gawin natin sa konteksto ng pagmamahalan. Kasi yun gusto natin pagmamahalan. So, sabihin natin, nanliligaw ka o ikaw ang minamahal. Diba? Mahal ka, mahal mo. Regardless kung ano ka doon, let's answer this. What is love? Or on the context of a person, sino ba tong mahal mo? O sino-sino? Kasi marami ditong sino-sino ang maraming mahal Sino ang mahal mo? Paano mo minamahal ang mahal mo? At bakit mo mahal ang mahal mo? So for those that are na nagdududa, ask your manliligaw o sa mga minamahal mo, bakit mo ba ako mahal? Kasi love is an act of self-giving, which is actually very parallel to servant leadership. And it may be basic, but it's not. We have to think. Kasi kung basic lang naman to na ABC 1, 2, 3, there wouldn't be any sense to have this webinar. Because our goal of us attending today is to learn something new. So where do we start? Again, let's start on defining what a servant leadership is. But isa-isahin muna natin. We only have 2 words. What is a servant? So if you were to search via Google or Oxford Languages, which is the official dictionary for Google, a servant is defined as a person who performs duties for others. Wala na akong babaguhin dito. Alam natin kung ano yung servant 'Di ba? Ikaw sa kapatid mo, ginagawa mong servant kapatid mo. Kung panganay ka, 'di ba? I don't know. But this is what a servant is. Number 2, what is leadership? Via Google, it's the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Masyadong pilosopo. Let's make it different. From Simon Sinek also, the one who popularized the Golden Circle, leadership also, on my belief, is someone that makes their employees, their members, feel safe, who draws people into a circle of trust. Pero how do you gain trust? Trust is made through to build trust, kasi hindi naman yun basta-basta nakukuha. Safety, of course, especially in an even economy. Di naman tayo magiging marupok bigla at magkakaroon na agad ng tiwala. Because there is a responsibility. And because there is a responsibility, there is accountability. And so, now that we learn that servant leadership is to serve first, what is a servant leader? A servant leader is someone that focuses primarily to the growth and well-being of the people and the communities that they serve. Let me ask you this, rhetorical question number 2. Kailan ka naging importante sa pagiging servant leader? Or if I were to translate it to English, there was no word in defining a servant leader as me. And I want to emphasize it now, that you do not lead for yourself. What do I mean by this? Again, going back to why you're here, nasa nandito ka because there are leaders who want to lead to have their own self-fame, para maging sikat sa school, para ilagay sa resume, para manalo ng leadership award. Isn't that corruption in the micro perspective? Kung ikaw ang galit na galit sa gobyerno dahil maraming corruption, using leadership as a vantage point for you is also a form of corruption. And so this is why servant leadership is very important. Because you focus on the growth and well-being, not of yourself, of the people. And let me tell you this, if you get to recognize that immediately, natural yung growth sa sarili mo. Leadership wasn't about you. The same goes as love. Why? Because it's an act of self-giving. It's not for self-ego. Para yan. Kaya ka nga leader eh. You are a leader because you want to serve others, not yourself. Rhetorical question number 3. Do you think you are a servant leader? And have you seen servant leaders in your community, in our government, in our school? I loved what our host for today mentioned, that Jesus was a great servant leader. I may be Catholic. I don't want to go to that because I know that we're diverse and there are various servant leaders that we would know. But you know what? This is actually very deep in context, but very important, yet also very simple to understand. If I were to end the talk now, kung gusto kong tamarin na, sige, tapos na tong talk. 15 minutes lang. A servant leader is someone selfless, hindi selfish. Para sa iba, hindi para sa sarili. Again, mentioned. But now that we know what a servant leader is, let's go to what servant leadership is. We know who we are as a servant leader, but how do servant leaders act and enhance servant leadership? Servant leadership is orienting value to serve first, then have the conscious choice to lead. To serve first. Magbigay ng serbisyo sa iba muna. Then, have the rational, have the choice na pinag-isipan mo to lead. Para manguna. It's not on you wanting to become a leader immediately. It's not on the title. For me, personally, what makes a leader is someone with the heart of volunteerism, may puso sa serbisyo, tamang intention, authentic, genuine, added the fact na passionate with his or her advocacy or para sa kanyang society. Because if you add both of these, the heart of volunteerism and the passion for advocacy, that's what makes effective leaders. That is the epitome of servant leadership. And so, a servant leader is a servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. I emphasize this, kahit paulit-ulit, you may want to recite this with me. A servant leader is a servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. Then having the conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead. You can't serve immediately. No, you can't lead immediately if you haven't served. That's what a servant leader is. And it may be self-explanatory to some. And we may have gotten what servant leadership is. Ay, paulit-ulit naman pinagsasabi nitong may Philippine tag sa likod. Pero, how can we be effective and efficient servant leaders? Before we go to our how, let me ask you this. What's the difference of effective and efficient? Doing things right versus doing the right things. Wordplay. What's the difference? Doing things right versus doing the right things. Being effective and efficient is very important as a servant leader to remain consistent throughout our society. Because we're not going to be leaders, especially in particular in a college, for 1 week. Your term is a minimum 1 year, 2 years. And so, how do we become effective and efficient? How can I become a servant leader? That is the question number 2 that we will be answering. And so, I want to share this. This is the servant leadership framework. And I'm going to stop my slides for me to be able to effectively communicate with you. Awareness, stewardship, vision, community. Again, awareness, stewardship, vision, community. Number 1, awareness. What is awareness? Awareness is being aware. Diba? Is someone that knows the needs, problems and concerns of the community or society. That is why students have history. Kaya, paano ka makakapagbigay ng solusyon kung hindi mo alam kung ano ang nakaraan? You cannot provide solutions for the future if you do not know what the past is. Again, the same goes to love. That's very important. And the fact that we students ay tinatamad mag-history, tinatamad pakinggan or magbasa ng Noli Me Tangere at El Filibusterismo, makes us not aware in context. Have you recently heard the news? Do you know that less than a year from now, we will vote again for the 2022 presidential election? We have to be aware. Ano nga ba ang kailangan ng bansa? Ano kailangan ng, in the micro context, ano kailangan ng iyong institusyon? What are the needs? What are the problems? And what are the concerns of this particular community and society? Because leadership is also defined as who you are in action. Hindi ka lang puro salita. Gagawa ka rin, syempre. Leadership is who you are in action. So, paano magagawa yun? You have to know who you are, then lead authentic, lead genuinely, like what I mentioned earlier. You have to be sharp, sharply awake, lalo na sa mga critical na pangangailangan at sa mga nangyayaring critical. You have to be reasonably disturbed. Kasi kung hindi ka na-disturb, edi parang wala kang pake. You're going to be disturbed because leadership isn't easy. There are some that are going to be hard to work with. In a school, there may be this professor that may bash you or may be against your beliefs. That's what's present. And so, number one, it's really important to be aware. Number two, stewardship. What is stewardship? It's basically you caring for others. 2020 to 2021, because of the pandemic, sumikat tong word na to. It's called empathy. And I learned this the hard way from being trained and growing not in terms of empathy. If you would hear your parents, lagi raw silang pinapalo dati, 'di ba? Kahit nga minsan raw mga teachers dati pinapalo ang mga estudyante. But now, we're shaping into this inclusive and empathetic world where caring is actually best in today's world. It's not because we're soft na kapag pinatamaan tayo sa Twitter or Facebook, ang sakit bigla sa dibdib, but it's through the change of times and through us caring for others. Next is to build organizational capability. Building organizational capability to grow and be more effective. So, being a steward is also someone na can it's not on not being satisfied, but knowing na ang rami mo pang pwedeng gawin sa organisasyon mo at marami ka pang pwedeng baguhin para maging mas effective. Because at the end of the day, especially as students, we have so much to learn. We have so much to learn. We have to recognize that. Third, we have to serve the larger society, especially the least, the last, and the lost. The least, the last, and the lost. It's part of being patriotic and having the sense of national consciousness. Because alamin natin na merong naghihirap, as Shel Diokna said, the law was made for the poor. There are a lot of groups in our society na hindi binibigyan ng plataforma para magsalita. Even the youth is stigmatized. That is why we want to serve the larger society. And in doing so, we wanted to make it inclusive. Walang nakakalimutan. Walang sektor sa ating lipunan na nakakalimutan. You may say na, I'm only a leader in school. But again, it goes back to the essence of working in the grassroots communities. The work that you do in your institution is easily reciprocated on what you want your country or the bigger society to be enabled of. And if we were to summarize what stewardship is, it's you using your power to empower others. So that's awareness, number one. Stewardship is number two. Number three is vision. Vision is a favorite word of mine because I love being a visionary. To see greater possibilities, to see potential in challenges. to provide energy that excites the imagination and steers the heart. Because someone with a vision is someone that knows that there can be so much better. And I believe these are individuals that are very passionate about the SDGs. As a development studies student, marami nagsasabi na imposible naman magawa yung sustainable development goals sa Pilipinas kahit nga sa buong mundo by 2030. There is an argument by that. But to have the vision that you want to stay focused, knowing that you have all the capability to change your lifestyle, your culture, in order to have that goal of achieving sustainable development is very essential. This is a quote that I've heard from a friend of mine. If your dream doesn't frighten you, then it's not big enough. Kung di ka raw natakot sa pangarap mo, ibig sabihin di siya ganun kalaki. And basically, a vision is very essential because for you to have it, one must challenge and change his present ways of thinking. Because having a vision isn't that easy. But it's that we just don't, it's basically how we perceive a dream. We can dream bigger in order to achieve more. Not to brag about what you can do, but to have that goal, knowing that you can be the best version of yourself after reaching these goals. Lastly, community. Number 1, awareness. Number 2, stewardship. Number 3, vision. Number 4, community. What makes a community strong? Like an organization, strong mission, strong vision, strong goal or goals. To build strong relationships founded on trust and respect. Because at the end of the day, life is all about relationships, and the importance of community that has been the root of community pantries all over the Philippines is because of the essential purpose of community. There is a sense of belonging and being valued in a community. It's what makes an effective community. Standing with one another, together with the leader. Regardless kung magkaaway-away kayo, knowing na at the end of it all, regardless of our egos, alam natin na tayo ay nagsasalita. Tayo ay nagbibigay ng opinion, hindi para sa ating sariling kapakanan, pero for the betterment, para sa ikabubuti ng marami. That's development in a simple context. Servant leadership framework, awareness, stewardship, vision, community. And now I'll go back and share my screen about this. Let me share again as we go on. If we were to summarize again, if we were to summarize then and again, and I hope you see my screen, you have to be aware, to be a steward that cares for others and have a vision for the benefit and betterment of the community. You have to be aware. Paano ka makapagbigay ng solusyon kung di mo alam nangyari sa sarili mong institusyon o sa sarili mong komunidad? After you become aware, you become a steward. Hala, ang rami nangyari sa bayan ko. May kailangan kong gawin. I have to be a steward for others. But it can't be on the day-to-day basis. Kasi hindi ka naman di ka naman nag-aaral araw-araw na mapapagod ka, na naghihirap ka, lalo na ngayong pandemya, tapos utusan ka pa ng nanay mo para magluto, maghugas, na wala kang vision. And that's why to have then a vision for the benefit, long term, looking what you can do now para sa araw-araw na ikabubuti sa sarili mo at ng bayan mo, tapos knowing na itong mga ginagawa mo, may rason yan. Para yan sa isang vision for the benefit and betterment of the community moving forward. Para sa kinabukasan. And this is why servant leadership is very, very beautiful. It's hard to get, but once you get to do it, it's very, very beautiful. And I won't act as if I'm a hypocrite. I too am not the perfect servant leader today. It's hard. It's a work in progress. Maraming temptations. But the best that we can do now is to try to practice until we get it right. before I go to my why, let's go and read this out loud. A servant leader may aim or may have the goal to share power with others and encourage the development and growth of others. This trait can extend to listening to followers carefully to better understand their needs, but it also involves leaders holding themselves and others accountable for their words and action. You effectively communicate. Again, servant leadership is for the benefit of others. How do we become aware? We ask them. We ask the members of our community. Ano sa tingin mo ang pwede natin gawin ngayon? Ano ba, saan po ba kayo nahihirapan ngayon? It can't be only you. Kung hindi ka magtatanong sa kapwa komunidad mo, di paano mo mabibigyan ng boses ang lahat, lalo na sa may kailangan ngayon? Example number 1. Because of this pandemic, sino ang pinaka-apektado? Ang pinaka-apektado ngayon ang mga naghihirap. But we don't think as if it's very, very important because we're not at that. We don't know what their story is. And I do not know your story as well. And that's why we need to ask and communicate. Nakakatamad as a leader, but you are a leader. In a certain community, you don't pick who you serve. You serve the whole batch. And that's what makes me so stressed or disappointed at some that want to become bigger, but can't even start at the smallest of their communities. And so now we go to our why. Before I go to my why, let me share you this. As a development studies student, our goal is to look at why nations fail, why nations succeed in terms of the economy, in terms of well-being of others, in terms of the GDP, whatever, a lot of statistics. And I would always say this. It's not included in my slide, but I would always say that the reason that the Philippines is where as it is today, the reason why 4 out of 10 of Filipinos are struggling in poverty is because we chose to be selfish rather than selfless. So if I were to summarize and give you a bang right now, it would be that there aren't a lot of servant leaders in our country. I do not have a particular number, but let me give you this. If there were a lot of servant leaders, then bakit ang raming naghihirap? Then why are we here at the moment? Then why is vote buying still very big? Then why do we still have more than 5,000 having COVID cases until today? This is not me pinpointing at a particular person. This is me speaking this to myself as a citizen and to all of us as citizens of this country, part of the government. So let's go to our why. This is a very strong statement. Service before self is paramount. It's important to know that service should be first before self. Next, leaders emerge in times of crisis. I know that the talk given to me was servant leadership and building resiliency amidst and distance learning. Because of this pandemic, mas lumala, mas naging kailangan ang pagiging servant leader. Especially at our schools, especially at distance learning, kasi hindi lahat nakakapag-aral ngayon. Kahit sa Lasal, a private institution, 20% are in leave of absence. This is why we emerge in times of crisis, because the problems continue to escalate. And that is why we should emerge at this time to be resilient at our own, not looking at this. Again, seeing opportunity, seeing potential in these challenges. Because we leaders were meant to be at this moment, to serve where we are needed the most. And I know that some of you may be mad. I'm the pandemic leader, sayang. Wala akong catering, wala akong pagkain kapag seminar kasi wala eh. Online lahat eh. But let me reframe that for you. You may be a student, you may be a leader. Regardless, we all are experiencing this pandemic. And I want you to shift your mindset into this situation in such a way that this is an opportunity, that this won't happen. Yet, the legacy that you are able to build to your students, to your members in the community will never be forgotten. Because at this pandemic, nagawan mo ng paraan. You showed the importance and you as an example of what a servant leadership is. And if we are able to be over the hump and end the pandemic, recognizing the importance of servant leadership, then I'll tell you this, we have a very bright future. We have a very bright future. Because when tested, we are proven. So, what do you want to be? We have the capability to change the cycle, to break the stigma. We have that. We have the power to change what has happened in the past after recognizing and being conscious of what has transpired in the past. And so we have the chance to break the cycle. Yung mga mali na nangyari sa atin. Because culture is slow to change. But we still can. We still can break the stigma. And while we're at it, a servant leader by now would be registered to vote. It's not just, I won't tell you that it's your civil right. It's you practicing democracy. But let's turn it around. If you love the country, you'd register to vote. You only have this opportunity once in 6 years. And so know that you are making a difference. And I hope you are able to learn. Remember that you and I are continuously learning. I too am learning on what it takes to be the perfect or to be an example of what a servant leader is. But let me tell you now, you're making a difference by listening to this talk effectively. For those who haven't, nasa sa kanila yun. It's on you. To be a servant first is the foundation of what a leader should be. Again, it's not about the titles. That's why I like to be called the youth advocate rather than the youth leader. That's why I love this term called volunteer. If I were to give a survey right now, ano mas gusto nyong itawag sa sarili nyo? The youth volunteer or the youth leader? 100 times of 100. I do not know why. You want to be called the youth leader. I want to be called the youth advocate. Because a youth advocate is someone that changes what is to what should be. Na nagbabago ng kailangan baguhin para sa ikabubuti. And so as we end, I encourage you to have these 4 Ds. Dream deeper, as mentioned earlier. Have that vision. To never be discouraged. Kung walang naniniwala sa'yo, I'm telling you right now, naniniwala ako sa'yo at kapag may kailangan ka, I'll be here. And I hope that your co-delegates or co-listeners are believing in you as well. Because I experienced that. You just do it and deliver. Because if you're genuine and if you know your why, as mentioned in our golden circle earlier, the rest follows. And once we do that, we get to dedicate your distinction. So let's make the difference today. Let's volunteer. I have various organizations. Again, we're starting the Global Youth Advocates Network. Youth Advocates for the Philippines is still present, and the ASEAN Youth Advocates Network. And as I end and as I close my screen, my question to everyone listening is this. I would always ask this often, but let me tell you again. In our world developing or in time being for the better or for worse, sa ating bansa, sa ating mundo, laging nagbabago. Anong gagawin mo? What can you do about it? I hope you are able to find that answer. Once again, my name is Myros Ponon. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me, and I hope all of you have an amazing and happy day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Myers Pornon. And we do have a lot of comments here in our Facebook Live. At talagang nakaka-relate po sila sa pagiging isang servant leader.
Yeah, so grabe nakaka-amaze naman ang experience at saka at your age, Myrus, you sound like a professor to me. You ano, parang napaka-mature mo naman magsalita. Pero na-curious lang kami, Myrus. I hope you can also share a little information pa about you. Kasi nabanggit kanina na you started volunteering at the age of 9. And ano yung nakapag-motivate sa'yo to parang, really act at a young age? Kasi marami ngayong teens parang they feel like I'm still too young to start.
All right, I'd be glad to answer that. So to share, you may have seen this kasi yun nga, I've been featured at ABS-CBN, Manila Bulletin, but I'm proud to be a Bicolano, and my parents are actually both Bicolanos from Camarines Sur in Napo. And I'm sharing this because they started from poverty. And so they were the first generation that
Mhm.
Okay. So, we have internet
Mhm.
problem with Mr. Ponon.
Baka makabalik agad si sir.
You guys may send your questions here in our comment box, or you may personally message us or text us to the given numbers a while ago. And meron tayo ditong mga comments, ma'am.
So yes, you may read some.
and so I was born and raised. Parents were working very, very well. They were working hard. They were working very, very hard. And while they were working hard and trying to live and of course sustain financial stability sa aming pamilya, I would notice na biglang kahit may mga gamit kaming kakagamit lang, tapos kahit kakain namin, nagluluto sila, I didn't understand why. Akala ko, ang yaman namin actually. Pero hindi. We would always prepare food, necessities. Kasi we were living in Paco. And if you know Paco, Manila, we were at the suburbs of a lot of squatter areas that would usually have fire. Talagang sa Paco, nakasanayan na laging magkakaroon ng sunog. So lagi ko naririnig na may bombero, ganito, ganyan. And so, I would be very intrigued. Growing up, syempre, ang raya mong tanong, Mami, bakit ganyan? Bakit ganyan? And so, growing from that on, I saw the generosity that I'm thankful that my parents were able to be an example on me. And I saw what poverty was. At akala ko dun lang yun sa amin. Yung tipong kailangan laging magluto ng soup, ng pwedeng ibigay. I thought it was only relevant or nangyayari lang siya sa amin. Ay, baka dito kasi ako nakatira. Pero it wasn't. Every time I commuted, simpleng jeep, may manghihingi ng pera, may manghihingi ng pagkain. Usually, quarterly, we would go to Bicol. I love the 14-hour Bicol trips. But ang isang masakit na nakikita ko for that 14-hour trip, di ba? Kapag nagko-commute pa kami nun from Pasay kasi doon yung mga bus, di ba? From Pasay sa Buendia to Bicol, to Camarines Sur, 14 hours, susuka ka, kailangan mo ng plastic. Tapos may kita mo sa gilid, minsan, di ba, pag papuntang Bicol, may disgrasya. Nakikita mo, sa gilid ng highway nakatira yung mga tao, maraming farmers, maraming nanghihingi ng pera, piso-piso, doon basta sa Quezon, di ba, may batuhan ng piso-piso doon. You would see really poverty everywhere. And basically that inspired me to volunteer at the age of 9. That was my first hugot. My second hugot is that a lot of people may think na I've always been a leader. But I'll tell you right now, hindi. Pinagtawanan ako nung nag-volunteer ako ng 9. Ay, para lang may magawa ka. I wasn't intelligent. I wasn't an honor student in grade school and junior high school. And it hurt me on the sense na parang, di ko gets, bakit tingin ng mga school, ang mga leader nanggagaling lang sa honor student, anak ng teacher, or close or pabibo. And I didn't understand that. What about the introverts? What about those na gusto? So bakit exclusive agad? Bakit pili agad sa simpleng school, sa simpleng institution? Paano sila matututo? How are they going to grow as individuals as they go into college and such? And so that's what inspired me to build Youth Advocates for the Philippines na naging ASEAN Youth Advocates Network na kinilala nga ng We Are Family Foundation. We want to give the opportunity regardless of what your age. We actually start at the age of 13 And regardless of what your experiences, regardless kung baka nga nandito ka para masabi mo na works at Krusty Krab mo, magawa mong works at Youth Advocates for the Philippines. Ewan ko. But regardless, we want you to have a safe space. We want you to grow. And regardless if you start as having this selfless intention or maybe gusto mo lang maraming friends, maraming likers sa Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
We want to be there for you, and we want to change you for the better. That would make you a consistent contributor to society.
Wow.
So my biggest hugot, kasi your advocacy should be your biggest hugot is number 1, poverty. SDG 1, nasa taas yan. Number 2 is yun nga, hindi lahat ng kabataan binibigyan ng pagkakataon. Yung pag-volunteer ko from 9 to 16, lagi yung pinagtatawanan. Hindi yung pinakinggan. And so I know that there had to be something that should be changed. And those are my 2 biggest inspirations to what led us to continuously serve, volunteer, to educate, advocate, and inspire.
Wow,
Thank you
ang ganda.
so much.
Mas naintindihan
Grabe.
natin yung servant leadership
Yes.
at saka ang hugot ni Myros behind it. So may mga tanong din
Yes.
from
So
our
we
students.
have one from Miss Mary Joy Morganieva. In your 20 years of existence, have you ever experienced wherein you have good intentions but surrounded by people with higher position limiting your movements, forcing you to remain quiet or silent? What to do po? Do they still have to choose its people or even if something is at stake?
Yeah, thank you to whoever asked that. It's really normal. As mentioned earlier, kapag bata ka, hindi ka papakinggan. Bata ka pa lang naman bakit ka pa nandito? And I would usually experience that. And it's always been a constant struggle. And that would deteriorate. It would mentally hurt the particular person. Diba? Nakakawala ng gana eh. Pagsasabihan ka ng ganun, gusto mo lang naman mag-serve. I do experience that. Until today. I get comments na, bata ka pa naman, ba't ka, ngayon mag-global ka na, kapal naman na mukha mo, Myros. Ba't ka biglang nag-ASEAN? Kasi in 2019, Youth Advocates for the Philippines pa lang, ba't ka nag-ASEAN agad? I would hear a lot of criticisms along the way. And I guess it's part of it. I want to share what my mentor, Kuya Mako, actually shared to me. And, you're basically a public servant, regardless if you're working in the government or not. And you don't have to look at yung payo na natandaan ko sa kanya is you only should be valuing the comments of the people you value. Because others that do not value you are there to bring you down. I know it's hard and some would eventually give up. But if we are rooted on why we're here, grounded in terms of having a great support system, then the rest follows. Then we are able to continue. And that's the importance of a community again. And so, whatever you're experiencing right now, gets ko yan. We can talk about it. I hope that, because again, the youth sector is a stigma. Sa House of Representatives, there's only one youth. The youth is only being represented by one seat. National Youth Commission is there, but do we think it's enough? It's not yet enough because we should be given more opportunities to lead as well. We don't have that. And as we continuously grow and advocate for youth empowerment and to show that marami tayong magagawa bilang kabataan, we remain resilient, again, as the title of this webinar on servant leadership.
Yes. And one commendation from our registered guidance counselor, Ma'am Josefina Basilia. Sir Myros, you're admirable as very service-oriented person. What do you see as the fuel of all that you do? The listeners can learn from that. So,
wow, ang ganda naman ng tanong. I would always ask myself this, lalo na nag-birthday ako. Why do I do the things that I do? Bakit ko ba ginagawa ang mga ginagawa ko? Basically, I want to be able to help. Kakashift ko lang to development studies. Because regardless of whenever I do this, I feel happy. I feel happy to serve. I'm not being paid to do all of this, but I love it. And I want to make my life and to just serving, And so I do the things that I do because I know, and especially in the Philippines, na yun nga, again, maraming nangangailangan. Kung walang gagalaw sino. And so that would always be at the top of my mind whenever I would whenever I would think of that. Because I want to be, again, the voice of the voiceless. I want to be there for people who do not believe in themselves. Kasi if papabayaan lang natin na minamalit tayo bilang kabataan, papabayaan na lang ba natin na wala tayong magagawa? And so, it's a work in progress. There are times na I will be deteriorated, I will be demotivated. I would immediately message my close friend Reina and I would say, alam mo, ayoko na. But at the end of it all, going back to the roots, going back to, again, your why. Kung bakit ka nga bumabangon, para kanina ka bumabangon, bakit ito laging ginagawa kahit college student ka na at naka-stress mga professor mo. You get to do the things that you do kasi
Ouch.
mahal mo ginagawa mo. At alam mong para sa ikabubuti yung mga ginagawa mo. And kasi, number one, alam na nga, again, as mentioned earlier, you're self-giving. Kapag nagbibigay ka ng sarili mo, no, may tendency na maubusan ka. Kaya may burnout. And so, yeah, I do the things that I do because I love it. And kailangan siya, lalo na sa isang third world country like the Philippines.
Kanina, Sir Myrus, nabanggit mo itong napakagandang line. Yung sabi mo, you don't pick who you serve. Oo. So, as a student or let's say someone na who doesn't have any position pero gusto nilang tumulong, how do you think they can expound? Parang ma-expand pa yung kanilang mga boundaries na hindi sila malilimit lang kung sino lang yung pwede nilang ma-reach out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually very normal to a lot of individuals. And I'm one of those. Kaya nga ako hindi naging focus na mag-serve or maging student leader quote unquote sa school. Nag-focus ako volunteering for various organizations. Like paikot-ikot. There are a lot of volunteering groups sa Facebook and I would usually magko-comment ako, mine, or hindi naman mine. Pag auction pala yun. Pero pag kunwari, may opportunity, I would always say yes, lalo na kapag may free time. And yeah, I guess, no, especially now, marami ng youth organization. So, if hindi ka bibigyan ng opportunity, which gets ko naman kasi limitado lang naman talaga lahat ng mga posisyon, sa student council government, hindi lang naman yung mga pinapalead, pinapaserve. And so, embrace being a servant. Especially now, looking at it after, reflecting on my journey. I've been a servant. I never had a leadership position from 9 until 16. Nung 17 lang ako kumapal ng mukha or talagang naging kampante. I was an introvert. A lot of people may not think kasi ang daldal ko na ngayon pero I used to not talk in class. I used to never recite. I used to be silent. And there are late bloomers along the way. And, that's something that's the platform that we want to build in our organization. So yeah, I understand you. And you are a reason why we do the things that we do. So dahil may mga taong tulad mo na hindi binibigyan ng pagkakataon na gusto nga talagang tumulong, na gustong matuto. It nasagot yung unang tanong. Kaya kami nandito, kaya ako nandito. It's because of individuals like you na minsan di papakinggan ng magulang, na minsan di papakinggan ng kahit sino. And so that's why we have this platform. That's why we want to make youth advocacy a lifestyle into the world.
Ayun. So,
Thank you,
Sir Myrus. We still have
some questions.
Two more questions,
Two more
ma'am.
questions.
So, we have here Miss Ana Angelina Comora. In connection with servant leadership, may time po ba na tinamad or hesitant kang gumalaw dahil sa mga tao sa paligid mo? Napanghinaan ka na din po ba ng loob to lead sa bigger organization?
Yeah, kakasabi ko lang kanina, it's really normal. Pero syempre hindi mo sasabihin sa kanila, alam mo nakakatamad na. I would say that to myself at times, lalo na kapag ang raming requirements bigla sa school, tapos bigla, may meeting pa, 8 to 10. Usually, lalo na ngayon na global na, lilipat na kami into the Global Youth Advocates Network na may mga taga Peru, may mga taga Australia. Talagang kailangan kayo yung mag-adjust kasi yung Pacific time na in favor sa US is kabaliktaran sa atin. And so, there are times na I would, but yeah, I guess, alam mo yun, sariling sabi na lang. And dun papasok yung importance ng support group. Dun papasok yung importance ng good influences sa'yo. One thing that I'd like to share is that I learned what friends are in the hard way. What I mean by that is we tend to grow up wanting to have the same way that we have in social media. Gustong-gusto natin na maraming likes sa Facebook, na maraming comments. The same way in terms of we have friends. Hala, gusto ko sikat ako sa school para kilala ko ng lahat. But that mindset that I used to have really changed because lalo na nung I was in this institution in high school na no one really volunteered as much. It felt as nerdy to some. It felt I had to overcome it in a way by recognizing that quality is more important than quantity. And so, yun yung biggest sacrifice ko. My biggest sacrifice for continuing the things that I do is, number one, I don't spend all the time with my family. So, ang lagi na lang nilang pinapakain kapag may pa-Jollibee si sister. Pero, ayun, si kapatid. And I would go to usual bondings. And, yeah, I don't have the friends that I have in school. Because, again, ang tinotropa ko na, ang ginagawa kong tropa na is the organization that I built through AYAN and YAP and GIAN. And so, yeah, those are the trade-offs that I get. But at the end of it all, you it's normal for us to be irrational. May times na magtatampo tayo, di ba? Wala namang perfect relationship. Wala namang perfect na tao. We make mistakes. We are human. And so, we ask, the importance of asking accountability from our support group is very vital. And, and staying sane. Especially in this pandemic na minsan, matatatama rin kayo. You know, may times na I would hear people na parang, gusto mo, parang Saturday ngayon, parang bagsak ng assignments. Gusto mo magawa lahat para Sunday, wala kang nang gagawin. And there would be some na pagkagawa ng isa, tatama rin, tutulog na lang. And, in this pandemic, it's very understandable. And so again, the importance of a support group and time management also as well is what makes you sane. Kasi burnout, especially at this time, is very, very prone to us.
Yes, that's true. And I can feel yung hirap nung attend ng forum ng iba yung time. 'Di ba, Sir Myrus? Yung dapat matutulog tayo, pero may forum tayo ng madaling araw hanggang umaga.
Okay. So actually, ang dami sir na mga tanong paano, but with our limited time. So we'll just entertain isa na lang
Yes.
sigurong tanong. Itong tanong ni Mark James Rodriguez, sabi niya, paano mo sir malalaman sa sarili mo na handa ka na maging isang servant leader or to be a part of an organization?
Yeah, I guess it's normal in every commitment that we do. Like, siguro kakagraduate mo lang, maybe from junior high school, maging senior high school ka na, senior high school to college, grade school to high school. I guess it's something that we really don't practice kasi as Filipinos. Kasi parang, okay, next year na naman, summer na. Ay, okay, next year na ulit. But the importance of having a commitment and having, again, the shared goal, dun papasok yung importance ng servant leadership, having the vision. Because if you have the vision, you strategically plan what you have to do. Once you have that strategic plan, you get to manage your time wisely. For example, on my sake, because I usually would never want to give myself as an example. I manage organizations. Naka-fast track ako sa college. Basically, yung 4-year course ko, iniipit ko na 3 years. Nagmamadali ako kasi impatient talaga akong tao. And I want to say yes to every speaking engagement. As mentioned earlier, this is my 7th day in a row with a speaking engagement. And so, in order for me to accomplish that, time management is actually very important. So, to be prepared is to prepare. And it might sound as philosophical, pero it's really good to prepare. Prepare mentally. If you're in the spiritual world, whatever your religion is, you ask for prayer, you ask for guidance, then you ask for your family. Lalo na ngayon, when the pandemic started, nasistress ako kasi nandito ako sa kwarto, biglang may kakato, kakain na, di ba? Sabi ko, hindi, bawal yun. Parang, guys, pag nagsasalita ako, please lang, di ba? Wag na kayong mangulit. And, an example like that, and so on and so forth. So, you have to really prepare for the best and prepare for contingency plans. Siguro natuto na rin ako from being a very tamad student from grade school and junior high school to leading an organization na bawal ka talagang tamarin kasi ikaw yung sasagot, ikaw yung taga-desisyon sa mga napaka-importanteng problema. I guess experience does play a part in that. Really being prepared mentally, emotionally, physically is very important. And knowing na may mga oras at may mga araw na talagang kailangan natin ilaan sa pagpapahinga. especially at this
Mm.
time of pandemic. It's very important to rest.
Mm.
You should put priority as a rest the same level as working. Kasi kung hindi ka nagtatrabaho, kung hindi ka na, if you don't rest, you also waste the time that you work kasi it won't be of quality.
Mm.
So yeah, padayon lamang, just again, balance your time through proper time management, through again, that in support of my last answer, to ask for support, ask people, ask for advice,
Mm.
because this journey of ours isn't a self journey. My award isn't only by myself. It's the culmination of my mentors, of my family, of my friends who've been there, and the organization members that made us on where we are today. And that's something that we should acknowledge as di lang leaders, but as citizens, as
Mm.
individuals.
Ayan. So talagang marami sir ang nako-curious how you did or accomplish what you have accomplished. Pero talagang nakikita namin yung honesty mo in sharing your experience. And may isa na lang po talaga.
Yes,
Last na
isa
talaga.
last.
Okay lang, okay lang.
From Ma'am Basilia, ang balangkas mo sa servant leadership, nakamalayan, pangangasiwa, paningin, pamayanan ay kumakain ng buong pagkatao at buhay mo. Do you still have time for your family, church, or friends? What is your style of time management?
Mm.
Wow. You know, yesterday, this is actually a very timely question because yesterday I used to start volunteering from from 9. That is from yung nag Christmas giving kami sa Bicol, and through church. I usually would serve usually, but because of the pandemic, I have to admit, ang sinabi ko nga, one of my sacrifices is family time and church time. I still do attend mass every Sunday, pero hindi ko siya feel kasi parang ang iba talaga compared to physical. And I would usually attend the feast. If you know the feast, it's a Catholic organization led by Pope Sanchez, and I'd always go there because it's such a relief to do that, to have that every week. And to be completely honest with you, yun yung nawala from attending a 2-hour worship, Catholic worship, to minsan to attending 30-minute masses kasi may ganun na sa YouTube, or 1 hour regardless of the time, to not having time with family. Those are the things that I have sacrificed. And yeah, I guess I think one thing that I would advise you as well, for you to have proper time management, is to learn no at times. And your priority can be constant, but it really won't be consistent always. And so the act of adjustment should be normal and be of emphasis and the things that we do. And so I hope we get to learn from that and we get to practice that a lot. But yeah, to be shared, ayun, I really actually, after winning the teen award, I did reach out to my school in DLSU because they offered me to like lead a Catholic organization, and I was like, okay, parang sakto. Kasi the thing that I also would do in my organization is, after my 1 year, alis agad ako. Like, I'll serve as an advisory because I want to give opportunity for others. And yeah, I guess, there's always a perfect time for everything, but you don't want to compile everything all at once kasi manggugulo ka lang. Gugulo lang buhay mo. And your effectiveness to others will be compromised. And so, yeah, padayon lang.
So, wag mag-overcommit, Sir Myrus. So, take one step
Yeah,
at a time.
matutong magsabi ng no, diba?
Learn to say no sometimes. Yan. So, thank you very much, sir. So, with our limited time, so kahit marami pa sigurong mga tanong, pero naibigay mo naman kanina yung iyong contact information, so they can reach you out. And sabi pa ng isang comment, we are so proud of you, Sir Myrus. Sobrang nakaka-amaze po ang mga achievements mo sa murang edad, pero napaka-professional niyo na po. So, in behalf of Daraga Community College and Care 104.3 The Way FM, we would like to present to you this certificate.
Okay. Citation reads, Republic of the Philippines, Commission on Higher Education, Daraga Community College, College Student Council, Salvacion Daraga Albay. This certificate of commendation is hereby awarded to Emmanuel Myers Esponon, in recognition of his service and sharing invaluable knowledge and expertise as resource speaker during the Leadership Webinar Workshop Series with the theme Student Leadership in Distance Learning, held on May 22, 29, and June 5, 2021 at CARE 104.3 D-Way FM, given this 22nd day of May 2021 via Zoom at CARE 104.3 DYFM at Legazpi City, Albay. Signed by CSC Advisor Arnold M. Dolosa, SAS Coordinator Mr. J.F. Nase, our College Dean Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, and to our College Administrator Mr. Joey M. Zamora.
Yan. So, marami sir nagpapa-thank you sa inyo sa ating Facebook Live. So, once again, we would like to appreciate your time for being with us this afternoon and for what you have shared to us about servant leadership.
And thank you so much, sir, for having you here in our webinar series. And as the first day of our student leadership training webinar series with the theme Student Leadership and Distance Learning, may we call on our College Student Council Chairperson, Mr. Robert F. Moliano, to give his closing remarks.
Salamat, Binibining Realisa Magnaye, sa tagapagmunuan ng ating paaralan, Dr. Joey M. Zamora, sa ating dekano, Dr. Melvin M. Guyena, sa OSAS Coordinator, Sir J. Nase, sa aming CEC Advisor, Sir Arnold Dolosa, sa ating tagapagsalita sa hapong ito, sa buting tagapangasiwa ng impilang ito, Ma'am Raquel Landong, kapwa ko mag-aaral, tagapakinig sa impilang ito, isang mapagpalang hapon sa inyong lahat. Sa buong panahon ng ating webinar, ay nakita at nabatid natin ang iba't ibang aspeto ng pagiging mahusay at epektibong leader sa kabila ng kasalukuyang pinagdaraanan natin dulot ng pandemya. Nakita din natin nang dahil dito ay nahasa, nahulma sa pagsusumikap na pagkapag-angkop sa mga hamon gaya ng technological advancement or the use of ICT information and communication technology. Gamitin sana natin ito sa positibong pamamaraan ang ating mga napulot na panibagong kaalaman at yakapin minsan pa ang mga darating na hamon upang lumago. Maraming salamat po sa ating aktibong paglahok sa ating webinar. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Mabuhay Dikomsinyan. Dikomsi, pandayan ng pangarap.
Much, Mr. Robert F. Moliane, our College Student Council Chairperson.
Yes, thank you po sa inyong lahat na nag-participate, nag-join sa ating Facebook Live at sa mga nakikinig sa atin sa radio. So, marami po ba kayong natutunan? Yan, abangan nyo po ang second part ng
Yes.
ating Student Leadership.
Webinar Series with the theme Student Leadership in Distance Learning.
This coming May 29 sa susunod pong
Yes po.
Saturday.
And mag-expect din po ng mga announcements sa amin pong official Facebook page. So, mangyari po na i-like po ang aming page para maging updated pa rin po kayo sa mga announcements.
Yes, so kami po ay magpapaalam na. Ako po si Clarence Faith.
And I am Rhea Liza Magnaye.
Thank you and God bless you all.
God bless everyone.
Salamat, Binibining Realisa